Jones.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm with my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down,
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Morning. What's going on a Monday? It's great to be with you today in a time of the year where I feel like we're all about countdowns right now. It's not just countdowns to football season, which, yes, by the way, is 33 days away from kickoff with Arkansas and Western Carolina. We got a countdown until school starts. We've got a countdown until your final vacation if you haven't already taken one. And the last day of the last month of the year without any football games in it. So count that down. That's the rest of the day. That's another 13 hours, and then we're in a football month. Great to be with you today on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Good morning, Matt Travis. Good morning, Matt Jones. Shining, smiling faces at the ESPN Arkansas headquarters today. What's new?
Good morning, Phil Elson.
Yes, sir. We're a Mark Pierce away. Mark Pierce, one of my former teammates, number 33, man, just as good as a running back as there was. They're running that midline option. He was fun.
I usually go with the Steelers route with the number 33, Bam Morris, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Byron Bam Morris. Yeah, so and I mean, I think we did this going into the month of June and into July. So funny when you watch the newscasts, if you still do watch local newscasts, there was a video I saw of a couple of months ago of, oh my gosh, we're into June. I can't even believe it. Yeah, but June is still 2 months away from the first month of football. And here we are, man. I mean, here's another deadline. You got a trading deadline tomorrow in Major League Baseball at 5 o'clock. Some interesting deals made over the weekend, and you got about, 26 hours, 25 hours until the deadline for the next trade or the last trade to be made. And we already have a text in about Mark Pierce. You've apparently chosen the right number for Bradford and Van Buren, Matt Jones. Tell me more about Mark Pierce.
He was Peyton Hillis before Peyton Hillis. He hurt his shoulder while he was up there, but, man, he could run the midline option, tough as nails. You know, you talked about who do you want in a foxhole with you? You want Mark Pierce with you.
Okay.
Will
he fit? Will he and one other remember, these foxholes I think are just built for two people.
He's an athlete. Soft hands, could catch anything. Just one of those guys that just ready to go. Just as soon as it's game, ready to go all the time.
All right, well, that was a good one. I'm sure you're already figuring out what number 32 will be. Don't let it out yet. We'll wait for 24 hours until tomorrow when we can. I mean, will we be counting down tomorrow? I guess till the deadline. But once you get into August, then it's you don't have to get your game face on yet, right? You even have to get your practice face on until Friday, if fans and radio types even have a practice face. Is a practice face different than a game face? You remember the video, or was a press conference of Bobby Knight was asked about his game face. Do you remember that, Matt? And he did a whole lot of goofy faces.
Oh, yeah, kind of do. Yeah.
We're going to get our practice face on by the end of the week. This is the last week before practice begins. Friday is we got the email from the Arkansas Communications Department. There'll be a press conference 2 o'clock. Sam Pittman, strength coach Ben Souders. No surprise that since the strength coach is usually the first coach mentioned by a head coach at media days, well, it should be the first coach that speaks during the only month where you will hear, where the assistant coaches even have voices that you will hear at all. We never hear the assistant coaches during the telecasts, right? And you're not going to hear from them throughout the rest of the season. So this will be an interesting month, and really for the next, I would assume next week you'll hear from both coordinators. But practice starts on Friday. And our long statewide nightmare without football since the Liberty Bowl will come to an end. High school practice started today, too, because school starts in like 2 weeks.
'Tis the season, man. English Premier League starts August 11th, but then a full slate of games August 12th. That's right. It's here.
That's your countdown.
Lots of moves been going on.
Hey, before EPL season starts, I saw where Manchester United is getting a $1.1 billion deal over 10 years from Adidas. So, I mean, before you don't drop the ball like you drop a puck. There's no tip-off. It's just a kickoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you call it, just a kickoff? So before the first kickoff, they get over $100 million coming in from Adidas. Might pay for one player.
Well, the thing is, it's about the TV rights, and so when you're in the Champions League and you're talking about the SEC, the Pac-12, we're talking about all these college teams jumping around based on the TV money. It's the same thing there. So whenever you win in the top 4 place, you're more exposure, and then you play in the FA Cup, more exposure. The more games you get, like the top level teams could play 60 games, where the mid level teams might play 30 games. So you're around all the eyes. Chevrolet, the last I'd heard, they paid Manchester United $500 million a year just to put that bow tie logo. That's what they wear on their jersey, and so I mean it's sick.
That's crazy. I mean that's not even monopoly money thrown around. And here it was. I thought you'd see this at Big Ten Media Days last week, Thursday. We didn't get into it on Friday because we were at Armour Bank and KJ was there, and we just had a bunch of other things on the mind. Maryland quarterback Talia Tagovailoa said that he turned down $1.5 million from an unnamed SEC football program to transfer in as a graduate. Mike Loxley was talking all throughout the spring. Well, not all throughout the spring, I guess. During media days, he talked about it. Not getting a lot of sleep, expecting that before the portal closed that Tagovailoa might leave, and that would leave them with virtually nothing at quarterback. He's been their starter for the last 3 years. And, of course, they're never going to tell you, or at least the person who gets the offer isn't going to tell you who offered $1.5 million, but we're left wondering who was that team that wanted to his younger brother, who, I mean, he's done well at Maryland, but I don't know if he's like a missing piece to a title-seeking club in the SEC. $1.5 million.
He's worth that. He's definitely, if you're looking at the QB market and what's going on, I don't know what Maryland's paying to keep him. But if Drake May was worth 4.5, what were they? What was some SEC team offered him 4 or something? And so he's worth 1.5 because he's competent. He can make the throws. I mean, he's
competent. Somebody that you would trust at least, saying this is our starter going into camp.
You remember like Mason Rudolph at Michigan State? You know, he's just a guy.
I remember Mason Rudolph.
He's kind of
Steelers.
Yeah, he's not going to starter. You know, he's like Bo Nix. Bo Nix isn't really an NFL starter, but he can go be a backup for 8 years and do that. And so for the college level, yeah, he can still get it done.
Well, I don't think you would be making that offer to somebody that would come in and compete for a starting role. And I do wonder, it wouldn't be Arkansas that offered that because you got your quarterback. You got KJ Jefferson. That's not going to be, this isn't the school that would, or the collective that would put that kind of an offer together. I could see, wouldn't it be interesting? Like Alabama right now, they don't know who they have at quarterback, whether it's Simpson or Milroe or Buckner, the kid that came in from Notre Dame. They do not have the dynamic kind of quarterback that we've seen over the last 3 quarterbacks that they've trotted out there.
Could you see a package situation where you have the kid that's the runner, you're going to have a couple run plays, some power plays, some read option plays, and then you might have the other kid come in that's the thrower? You know, could you see 2 different packages?
I would have a real tough time believing that Alabama would go with a 2 quarterback system.
That would be like what you haven't seen that much because usually they like to go with somebody and then you just stick with them if they can't do it anymore.
Well, I don't think it would be I doubt it would be Alabama because he has started there. He started there and left after a year. But I think he's at least more of a proven commodity than anybody else that Alabama's putting in there. Maybe Alabama made that offer, or maybe it was Auburn, because Auburn doesn't have a proven starter.
How do you not go to no? I don't know that Alabama made that offer because I need to talk to Tua. We need to have a conversation. They just offered you to come be the starting quarterback for the Crimson Tide, and you win a national title, and you said no, I'm gonna stay in Maryland.
Well, he said he spoke with his brother. That's why I'm saying I doubt it would be Alabama. I doubt it would because he started there.
No, I would have think he would have. Okay, he started. I just thought he would have gone back. I'd be like, if Alabama's calling him, then you got to go.
Could it have been Auburn, the program that is the antithesis, or at least the arch rival of Alabama?
I would have
They
went
don't
there
have a
too.
proven guy.
I
Ashford's not a proven quarterback.
Like you said, Maryland, what, they gonna win 7 games this year, 8 games. Maryland's not. They don't have the defense. They definitely don't have the skill guys. I would have went to the SEC, especially if you're trying to make it to the next level. I mean, he's trying to go to the NFL.
Wouldn't be Tennessee. They've got their starter. It's not going to be South Carolina. It won't be Kentucky. They brought in the kid from North Carolina State.
You think it could have been Arkansas? Do you think Dan was trying to bring him?
I don't think it's Arkansas because you got KJ and Tagovailoa is around for one more year. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll bet you that it was. I wondered about Ole Miss, but Ole Miss has like 3 quarterbacks that are battling for the position. The guy they brought in from Oklahoma State, Spencer Sanders, came in January. So I doubt that you would have added Tagovailoa to that room involving Jackson Dart and Spencer Sanders. So I don't think it was Ole Miss. I don't think it was Mississippi State. They've got their guy. They've had him for the last 2 years, Will Rogers, even though it'll be a different system. Rogers is a proven commodity in the Southeastern Conference. Florida, that could have been the place.
There you go.
They're down to Graham Mertz, who was Wisconsin's quarterback last year, doesn't have great numbers and is probably going to be their starter. And they've already shown, at least the collective there has shown the propensity to throw some crazy money around. Remember, $9.5 million for Jaden Rashada? I think that was over the life of his scholarship for 4 years, and that all fell apart. He's at Arizona State now. I wouldn't put it past that was Florida that floated the $1.5 million for Tagovailoa because they don't have a proven quarterback. They got a guy in Billy Napier who was a former quarterback.
Well, that's the going rate. Yeah. So maybe he's just comfortable there in Maryland, and that's good for him for staying there. You wonder what he got, but
I do agree with you though. Like if you got the offer from the Alabama Collective, and your last name is Tagovailoa, and you look at the rest of that roster, and you're like, yeah, I'll take that. He was already in Tuscaloosa.
He would have been the
year.
starter. Mm-hmm. Like that's. I think Saban would have came out of spring camp and we'd have said, yeah, we got our starter. It wouldn't be going into fall camp not knowing who our starting quarterback was.
I can't help but think about, and we didn't get into it on Friday because I felt like it might have been tacky with him being in the room.
Fair enough.
What is KJ Jefferson worth? He's at Armour Bank on Friday in Hot Springs. What is KJ Jefferson worth? Not to the program, because I feel like we have a sense of what he's worth to the program. What is his worth promotionally? Because that's what a collective is doing here. I mean, I know that you can call it a no-show job in some cases, but in most of these cases, you do have to go make an appearance somewhere, fire off a few tweets somewhere. And KJ put in some effort the other day. It was a lot of sitting, a lot of shaking hands, a lot of smiling, a lot of photos to take. But for me, Matt, I think that's effort, and he put a lot of effort in Friday. If Tagovailoa is worth $1.5 million to some SEC team, I think KJ Jefferson is worth more than that, especially in a state like Arkansas, where you're one of the 5 most famous people in the state right now. Let's see if that lasts.
You got to have a quarterback if you want a chance to win, and KJ definitely gives us a chance to win.
You also need a quarterback if you have a chance to market, which is partially what this stuff is about. Halftime on a Monday today involving only one guest. That is Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation in a moment. Lots of time for calls and texts as we go throughout the show today. And, hey, with August right around the corner and the Hall of Fame game is this week, you're probably getting set for your NFL fantasy football season. Get your draft party going over at Buffalo Wild Wings. They've got locations in Fort Smith, Bryant, Little Rock, Sherwood, Conway, and Jonesboro. And Buffalo Wild Wings has draft kits, including a draft board and player stickers, and a dine-in fantasy bundle. This is perfect for a draft party. You get 50 traditional wings, 50 boneless wings, 2 trays of party wedges, party-sized chips and salsa, and a party queso dip. It all sets you back just $150. That's for your entire group. You can plan your fantasy football draft party at any local Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, they're in Fort Smith, Bryant, Little Rock, Sherwood, Conway, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings, beer, wings, football. And Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation next on Halftime.
Got no glad long shot, come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The back-to-school blowout sale. This weekend only at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. This Thursday through Monday, Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford has every vehicle on the lot deeply discounted with matching down payments up to $2,500, as low as 0% financing, and multiple lenders on hand to get you financed. And as always, more for your trade. The back-to-school blowout sale. This Thursday through Monday at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
The fastest internet you could find in rural Arkansas is from Wave Rural Connect and available now in areas like West Hartford, Gibson Ridge, and Elm Park. Wave Rural Connect is taking orders for Arkansas Valley Electric members on their Hartford substation. Order at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Fast internet from a local provider in Ozark. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
With Hardee's Double Deals, get a double cheeseburger or bacon double cheeseburger starting at just $2.99. That's double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese. Or double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese and bacon. Both starting at only $2.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant or app for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. We always appreciate his time Monday mornings. Mike, it's our last day of the month before football season begins. We get practice on Friday. We got Coach Pittman, Coach Souders talking Wednesday. So I know you must be waiting with bated breath, because that gives us some more sound bites to play and some points of conversation to point out as well.
Yeah, the sound bites help. Actually being out there and being able to watch just a little bit of it helps. You know, you still don't know for sure. I mean, you always wonder what happens when you leave, you know, as opposed to what happens when you're out there. Last year, I remember fairly early on, we got a 7-on-7 session, wide receivers against secondary, and you could see even then the secondary had some issues. Of course, they had really good wide receivers last year, but yeah, you know, you see a few things like that, and you're able to talk about it. You're just desperate. At least I am. I'm desperate for something that is actually meaningful. I don't like to BS people. I don't like to, you know, pump some concept up. I mean, let's talk about the coordinators. Okay, everybody's excited. You know, new coordinators. Well, until we actually see a game, we don't know for sure how that's going to work out. What are the players going to say? We don't like these guys, you know. Every time you get a change like that, you have the players talking about, it's really great, it's going to be awesome. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. So you get these little clues, and you try to pass them on. But, you know, I'm always grateful for the first game, because games are different. You know, the games are the real thing. No practice out there. I still recall Pittman talking about thudding and how you could use thudding to replace actual tackling. And I remember at media days this year, he pretty much admitted that was all a mistake. You know, you do have to have some scrimmaging. You got to have some live tackling, because I watched the Arkansas-Cincinnati game maybe Friday morning. I can't remember. It was sometime last week. And it was, you know, it was interesting to watch a game and remember things you'd forgotten. I had forgotten how poorly the Arkansas tackled at times. And, man, there was some wide open. They tried to pressure, and most of the time the pressure didn't work. And when that happens, usually somebody's wide open, which they were. And honestly, when you go back and look at how that game played out, Cincinnati beat itself. They had all these crazy penalties that just killed them. Yeah, but you got to give Arkansas credit. I mean, the biggest play of the game was a early fourth quarter, a fumble, a hard hit and a fumble, which Arkansas recovered, which that turned the game around. So, you know, it wasn't that they were terrible, but you could see some early issues in that game. And that's, I don't know if we'll see that in the first two games this year, because it's not an opponent like Cincinnati, but I mean, they got that LSU game coming up, followed by A&M, and that's, I mean, I'm not sure you want to see those two games. I hope they're ready, because we're going to find out in a hurry where they stack up in the SEC.
Well, Mike, you just pointed something out that I think if you go to practice and you read about practice, you want to read about position battles and who looks good at this position, and is KJ on with his throws, and what receivers are standing out, look like they have good hands and all of that. But from a bigger perspective, the 30,000 feet perspective, I think what you will be looking at, what I would be watching, I think what most media be watching, and you alluded to it with, you know, Sam Pittman referring to, he thought he was wrong about we can thud and we'd be okay physical. It's the nature of practice, how physical it is. And something tells me you'll be able to tell immediately that there's a difference in the physicality of practice, just based on what Sam Pittman has said.
Yeah, I think so, and the new defensive philosophy and all of that. But then what you have to do, and this is one of the biggest factors in August, injuries. I mean, you can have have a key player taken out in early August and gone for the year, and you're just like, oh no, that's just what football is more than any other sport. We saw it happen in baseball, so it can happen in any sport. But hopefully this academic year, and this starts the academic year, hopefully it won't be like last year when it seemed like in every major sport there were these injuries that decided so much. And I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed now. I think we've had enough of that stuff.
Mike, you bring up that Cincinnati game, and you're right. There was a lot of overthrows by their quarterback. But I look back at the season, getting beat by Liberty, probably one of the worst losses. Is that the worst loss in Coach Pittman's career here at Arkansas? And then you look at SMS. They kind of had us on the ropes for a little bit, and we had to come back and win that game. This team realistically has to kind of be changed if we think that they're going to win 9 games this year.
Well, it is interesting because everybody's excited about these 2 new coordinators, and the fans really believe that was necessary to get better. Now, Pittman at Media Days, what does he say? I didn't want to lose my coordinators, which I knew he felt that way. I kept trying to tell people he didn't run these 2 guys off. He didn't want them to leave. So now you're thinking, what's the matter with you? But then the way he explains that is sometimes, and this is true in sports, sometimes the thing that you don't want to happen happens, and it turns out to be the best thing that could happen. And we don't know yet that that's the case, but I think if this team has any chance to compete this year, that has to change. And the coordinators have to do some things that weren't being done last year. So, yeah, I'm looking early on to see what these guys can do. Offensively, how much does KJ change as a quarterback? Does he stick in the pocket a little more often? Does he move around and move into the pocket, which he a lot of times doesn't do very well? And how about his touch passes on the short routes? He's always been a better deep ball passer than the short. How about having to throw the ball on 3rd and 9 and being able to complete it? That's huge, and he had problems with that. So all these things are things you look at. Then you look at the poor tackling. To me, stood out, guys, last year almost as much as the secondary issues. There were so many times where big plays, you go back and look, what is it? It was like guys were wiping their hands on guys. They were out of position. They were overrunning the ball carrier. You can't approach a good running back full speed and just knock him over 9 times out of 10. He will juke you out. So you kind of have to slow down on those last couple of steps and maintain good position because he's going to move left to right, do something. You have to be able to move with it. You can't let him olay you, and that happened over and over and over last year.
I wonder, and Clay talks to us about this quite a bit. It's the perception of your offense by the opponent's defense, and you got to take what they give you in some cases. Under the Kendall Briles offense, it was a run-oriented attack. I mean, they ran 63% of the offensive snaps last year. Part of that was the way the defenses lined up against them, the perception of this Arkansas offense. Do you think that changes? I mean, Sam's already said KJ is going to throw more than he did last year. KJ averaged almost 14.5 carries per game last year. They're going to throw more often. It's just there was such a heavy run offense the last 2-3 years, really the last 2 years, because Franks wasn't much of a runner. KJ is. How much of that do you think changes?
Well, it has to change with Pittman because he's admitted that in many of these situations, the run-heavy thing you saw was him. And so he's an old offensive line coach. Those guys believe you just line up and create big holes and grind the ball out and burn up clock time and go down and score and let the other team's offense just sit there and wilt on the bench. That's all an interesting philosophy. But sometimes that doesn't work, and he's got to make himself do something that's not natural for him, which is, let's throw it. So he's always talking about we're going to throw it more, but far too often when the game's over and you listen to what he says when it was over, a lot of that was him just wanting, hey, I thought we could line up and move the ball. And the problem with that kind of an offense is the longer the drive, the more plays in a drive, the more often the number of chances of a penalty, offsides, holding, any of that stuff, those are drive killers. That's why I like the chunk plays because it takes all that out of it. Just boom, and you're gone. Because, again, a 9, 10, 11, 12 play drive, you wouldn't believe how many, when you go back and look, break down because of penalties.
Well, I mean, you got to keep our defense off the field as much as you can, and our MO is, we got these stable of running backs, and to do that, you got to be positive on first down. And the other part, Mike, I think that we miss Traylon Burks. That when we won 9 games, KJ had that guy he could throw to anytime we had man coverage. We didn't have that guy last year, and so if one of these guys is step up that can beat man coverage on the outside, that opens up everything else.
Yeah, but everybody's talking about these receivers and the talent, but that's another question mark because, again, to me, until you see somebody do it, you don't know for sure. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I went into a season covering the Razorbacks and this guy was supposed to do this and this and this and that, and then all of a sudden to be somebody totally different, just comes out of nowhere. Whoa, where's this guy come from? You're glad you've got him.
Kind of like McAdoo last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, okay, this is a nice surprise. You have to fight these preconceived notions because it's never the same. Some players get better. Some players regress. Some players come out of nowhere and surprise you. And to me, that's part of the fun of football. Matt, when you were a freshman, I think they played 5 or 6 other quarterbacks or 4 or whatever. And we get to the middle of the season, and that's like, whoa, okay, this is cool. Now you're covering something that's fun. The rest of it was like, what is this stuff? And that happens over and over again, all the time. The surprises of football is what keeps me interested.
You only get to watch 20 minutes of practice when you're there. And it's different program to program, and they have their reasons. You're part of a media contingent that remembered where you could stick around for all practice, for both practices a day when they would do 2 a days, and you can't do that anymore. Basketball, you can't do that. It's interesting when you look at it. With Muss's team, they'll control all of the access, and it's pretty rare to watch an entire practice. Women's basketball, you can come and go as you please. Baseball, come and go as you please. It's just not as much of a secretive sport. With football, in the last 20 years or so, man, it's become a big guessing game when we're trying to talk about what's going on at practice.
I occasionally talk to some guys that cover the NFL, and it's amazing how much more access they get than we get. It's also amazing, guys, when you work for a television station and you're dealing with people on the news side, like your news director, bosses, and they want to know, well, hey, why don't you do this? And you go, well, because they won't allow us to do that. What? They just aren't aware of how controlling all this stuff is, and it's the biggest change. And it didn't happen overnight. Now, it's been going on. The thing has been slowly changing over the last 30 years, and it's just getting more and more where they shut it down. And I don't know why. I don't know if we'll ever reach a point where coaches around the country Frank used to tell me the worst thing was no publicity. He'd rather have bad publicity than no publicity. So he opened everything up. Well, that's just not the philosophy anymore, not hardly anywhere.
Appreciate you, Mike. Next week, I guess we'll have maybe 40 minutes of practice to go off of to talk about, so we'll do it then, okay?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us most Mondays here on Halftime. You can open our McClarty Daniel hotline for calls and texts at 877-377-6963. You can visit any of the 6 locations for McClarty Daniel in Springdale or Bentonville, and their entire inventory also online at McClartyDaniel.com. Yeah, they shut things down at practice now. There's no doubt. 20 minutes, and then you're shuttled in and out. And they get to control the message. That's part of it. A major part of it is the ability to control the message, and that the quote-unquote more traditional avenues of media, unquote, do not matter as much as they used to. We'll be back after this quick break.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey folks, it's Joey and Ryan here. What's up? It's summertime.
Hey, we got some great Jeep incentives going on right now.
2.9% financing, rebates, discounts on Jeep Grand Cherokee on select models.
We've got 1.9 incentivized rate plus $4,000 rebate.
So for all you new Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs during the Make This the Summer event.
Or check us out on the web at redriverdodge.com or Red River. We deliver. God bless.
This is halftime.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hey, this is Mark at W&W Automotive. Let us help you beat the heat this summer with a seasonal tune-up on your car. We'll check the Freon and AC system, plus your battery, belts, hoses, and more. We offer routine maintenance to major repairs, including front-end work, alignments, and we're AC specialists. Don't simmer this summer. Drop by W&W just off Townsend Avenue on South O in Fort Smith. Or call me or Kelly at 242-1600. That's W&W, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Here's to you and yours from your friends at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. Hey, warmer weather is with us, and that means fun in the outdoors. Whether you're in the boat, onshore enjoying a picnic, or attending a family celebration, In Good Spirits can provide you with the tastiest adult beverages in town. And don't forget to treat yourself as you listen to the game. In Good Spirits, Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
It's hard enough to find a quality used vehicle, and even harder to get the financing. Well, look no more. RVR Auto can do both. They have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles and offer in-house financing with payments tailored to your needs. Cars, vans, trucks, all makes and models, and RVR Auto is locally owned. RVR Auto, where you aren't just a customer, you're part of the family. And they also sell used vehicle parts for all makes and models, even those hard to find. Check out their inventory at rvrauto.net or give them a call at 918-626-8111. RVR Auto, be a part of the family.
Stop by Metters Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Get great deals on a variety of top-of-the-line products like 1 quart of Valvoline motor oil for just $5.49. Also, a 34-piece SAE metric socket set by DeWalt is just $41.99. Need a new hose reel? The Resin Wicker Hideaway Hose Reel by Suncast is just $49.99. Don't miss out. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime. back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Got a text in on the McClarty Daniel text line from Nate. The reason that practice is shut down because of technology. Easy to record practices, use it now. I think that's part of it. But I think that another part of it is the teams can have an ability to kind of control the narrative through their own websites. I mean, look at Hogs Plus now. Hogs Plus is a different kind of a media organization than any other, I think, that covers Arkansas outside of ArkansasRazorbacks.com, which, Hogs Plus is kind of an extension of that. They'll get all the access they need. They will have 100% access. Why? Because they're working together with the communications department on stories that are going out there. I don't think that there's yes, I think the recording of practices is part of it. And I have my own personal experience of being yelled at by a security guard when I was sort of watching an Ole Miss spring practice when I wasn't supposed to. So, yeah, I think that's part of it. But there's no surprise that the rise in the information coming from school websites specifically coincides with the same time that practice got shut down to media members. And it's the same reason why there's no locker room access any longer. Used to be you could go up to a player, you could go up to an assistant coach, start up a conversation. That's how sports used to be covered. Not any longer. Now it's all done through press conferences, and there's that, thing in the middle. The thing in the middle, which is the microphone, and everybody being forced to kind of be in the same area for the same questions and answers instead of having a little one-on-one, which the only people that get one-on-ones now are part of Sport and Story when it comes to Arkansas athletics. Or you could be like, KJ at Armor Bank and the Hot Springs Sentinel Record spoke to him.
Most coaches are secretive by nature. They don't want anything out there. I mean, you reading that Jimmy Johnson book, and he said he picked up watching the news that day that they were running this little draw play, this little shovel pass screenplay in the Super Bowl because they were working on it. It's like when you go out somewhere and you can be filmed, you're not going to run anything like that. All you're going to do is go through the motions and warm up and loosen up. You don't want anything out there that the other team could see, somebody could look at and get an advantage.
Is that why? That's why I would think, last year you opened the season against Cincinnati, and, they're coming off that college football playoff appearance, but you knew they weren't going to be as good. You knew they would still be good. Group of five, one of the better group of five programs. So I don't know what was hidden last year in the first game, especially because defense was so bad in that ball game that it felt like, man, you're going to have to break out some of those stops. Western Carolina, week 1 this year, Matt, I don't expect to
It'd be a 47-7 type of game.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing where you
both
would
the
expect
first two
to
games would be
roll right over them.
Yeah, I mean, they should just be easy. And the thing is, you don't have to play outside yourself. You should just let cream rise to the top. Just go out there and don't make mistakes. Run what you've installed in camp and get you a couple runs down. Find out which receivers you really like in man coverage. Find out who understands the playbook. Because we forget it takes a little bit to learn this new playbook. It just does. And now I know they get more time. They get more time spring and summer with them, so it's a little easier. But the year we went through, after my sophomore year, we had to kind of learn and install some new plays, and it takes a little bit to kind of feel comfortable with it.
I do like how the schedule this year allows the ability to ramp up a little bit. You kind of had to ramp up immediately last year. Heck, your first SEC game was week 2. This year, there's a real ramp up. I mean, you got an FCS opponent week 1. Then you get a MAC program that is picked to finish last in the MAC in Kent State that has 4 starters returning from last year. I mean, 4 starters overall, offense and defense combined, and then BYU, which is going to be, look, it's a home game. You handled him pretty nicely last year in Provo. That's not a walk, even though it's a home game. That'll be a tough one.
Every single team except for Missouri, after we play BYU, will be faster than us. So we have to understand that. Western Carolina, Kent State, and BYU aren't the fastest. We'll be the faster of the three teams, the faster the team, all three of those games, and probably Missouri. But then after that, every single team's good. That when you talk about ramp up, when LSU is going to be lightning compared to what you're playing in the first 3 weeks. So it's going to come, but that's why you want to see the positives in these first three weeks and let cream rise to the top.
What I also hear, and I don't know if this is the way you meant it, probably not, but when I hear everybody else will be faster than you, well, chances are, and I wonder about Mississippi State if they'll be faster than Arkansas, but speed and talent are kind of, speed is part of talent, but there's a good chance here once you get into the SEC schedule that just about everybody you're facing is going to be faster, i.e. maybe more talented.
You got to have – that's one thing I tell you Coach Nutt did really good. Man, we had 6, 7, 8 track guys, D-backs, receivers, running backs. They'd go over there. I mean, we had some speed on those teams. You got to have speed to compete in the SEC. You look every year at the teams that finish first and second and third, they're the fastest teams. I mean, that's just speed kills. It's breaking a 7-yard run, breaking a 7-yard catch, and taking it 60 to the house. There's a difference that you got to have.
Speed also eats, Matt Jones, and if you can finish a monster burger at the Hardee's location on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith tomorrow, finish that monster burger in 120 seconds or less, and you are entered for the football trip of a lifetime. This is a qualifier tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow it's at the Phoenix Avenue location. Thursday, Rogers Avenue location, Hardee's in Fort Smith. And you got to finish that monster burger in 2 minutes, and then you're entered for a chance to win the football trip of a lifetime, the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime. It's the Chiefs and the Eagles in Arrowhead Stadium. We get one winner. We got to have our qualifying rounds first. 1820 Phoenix Avenue, Hardee's location tomorrow in the Fort. And then on Thursday, 2720 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. It's all brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. 877-377-6963 is our number for calls and texts on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. And we'll be back with more halftime to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
It's the back-to-school blowout sale going on right now at Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. Matching down payments up to $2,500 and another big free weekend giveaway here at Harry Robinson.
Yes, Tommy, the sale went so good at the beginning of this month with the blowout sale. We decided to end it with the back-to-school blowout sale. So come out here and see us. Every single unit that we have out here on the lot will have a discount. We'll be matching payments up to $2,500. You can have no payment for up to 90 days. We got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. And, hey, we've got the test drive giveaway. No purchase necessary. Come out here, test drive a vehicle, get your name entered for a $250 gift card to Walmart.
You got a great selection of brand new Fords, never one dime over sticker price, including the Mach-E Mustangs.
Yes, the Mach-E Mustangs got $3,000 off plus an additional discount right now from Harry Robinson. So this is where you want to buy your car. End of the weekend, back to school blowout sale. Get here quick.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfasts bake goodness into your morning. Pick any 2 handcrafted favorites for only $5. Choose syrupy French toast dips, a made-from-scratch biscuit stacked with sausage and eggs, or a biscuit and gravy. With Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfasts, you get double the breakfast goodness for just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Ocker Funeral Home knows that thinking about the inevitability of one's death is a subject that few like to consider. For many, actually moving ahead with their pre-planning or prepaying for their funeral is even more difficult to act on. With a large number of options available today, it's important to speak to someone you can trust. Ocker Funeral Homes in Van Buren, Alma, and Fort Smith, serving the community for over 100 years. Call 474-2523 for an appointment.
Hi, this is Melissa Vitale, owner of True Grit Running Company. Your young athlete deserves the best when it comes to footwear. After all, it's good to start early so they don't have problems in the future. We've got options for training, cross-country, gym class, and more. Our well-trained staff can guide your student athlete through our personalized fit process to help find that True Grit fit. And for our cross-country kids, we offer a 10% discount off of your total purchase. Visit our store in Fort Smith, located behind Chick-fil-A.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Get busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Check it out, party people, cause this party is burning. For a new dance, I know you've been yearning. This is for all you people concerning a brand new dance called the Pee Wee Herman. Just move your hands into the front, and if you can't hear the music, say, huh? What? As you're doing this dance, it might hurt your back, but just look at the crowd. Say, I meant to do that. It's the Pee Wee Herman new dance sensation. Just go with the flow, cause it's sweeping the nation. So come on, everybody, rock with Joeski and the teacher's new dance called the Pee Wee. It's funky fresh, so don't ridicule. So get on the floor and get off your bicycle. If you don't know how to do it, you better start learning this brand new dance called the Pee Wee Herman.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, I'm heartbroken now. I just saw that Pee Wee Herman died. He passed away apparently last night, according to his family on the Pee Wee Herman Facebook page. He was battling cancer for years and never let anybody know about that. 6 years he fought cancer and died overnight. Man, that's a piece of my childhood right there.
That sucks.
Speak the same for you, Maddie. And
dude, my mom just sent me a text message yesterday. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was on. I said, man, I still love that movie. She said, I took you to see that when you were a little kid. And sure enough, like, you know, my wife, she's in the last year or so, she's bought me a Pee-wee's Playhouse lunchbox and little figures. Like, I loved Pee-wee growing up.
He always wore the sickest suits.
Same suit.
Yeah. I like, but the way, like, but when everything was all baggy and like wearing your clothes backwards, and then he was wearing the regular suit that they're wearing now. You know, it came back around.
And rocking that same bow tie for every time.
Did he not have a red skinny tie too? Did he had the bow tie every time?
I don't remember. He might have. I don't remember. I just remember. Did you see remember he did another Pee-wee's Playhouse? What was that, like 8 years ago?
Oh, yeah, it was on
ago?
HBO. I mean, it's probably been longer than that now, but I did see it, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman wasn't in that, of course, but he was in the original one.
Yep. Phil
Lawrence
Hartman,
Fishburne was in the original one. Wow. That's that one's a little hard to take. It really, because that is, like, that's the movie that I could torture my kids with at any moment. Because of the clown, the dream scene with the clowns and Large Marge with the face that she made.
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seen the worst accident I ever seen. Man, That's a tough one right there. Yes, Ben, Large Marge did send us. Wow. All right, so yeah, we keep finding evidence that you're getting older and older and older, and when the character that seemed to be a perpetual child that you grew up watching every Saturday morning passed away, and he kept his diagnosis hidden from the public for 6 years. R.I.P. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. Wow. Midnight Madness from 1980 is the first movie I saw him in. That was the scavenger hunt all around Los Angeles, starring Michael J. Fox, his first ever feature film, and Pee Wee played a guy that ran an arcade, shot quarters out of a gun. All right, hour number 2 of halftime next.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Are you feeling the heat this summer with soaring electric bills? Upgrade your AC system with Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric this August and experience the ultimate comfort in your home. This month, receive up to $500 off on attic insulation when you upgrade your AC. That's right, proper attic insulation can significantly reduce your energy bills, keeping your home cooler and more efficient. Worried about the cost? We've got you covered. With approved credit, enjoy payments as low as $99 a month. Picture this. Lower energy bills can help you cover the cost of your new system. Now that's a win-win situation. So don't wait. Call Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric now and save with a new AC system and installation this August. Say goodbye to high electric bills and hello to ultimate comfort. Visit GoPaschal.com now and schedule your free estimate. With approved credit, exclusions apply. See dealer for details. Professional people, professional service, Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're replacing a car, selling a car, repairing a car, or anything else automotive, we've got you. Plus, follow us on Facebook to enter our Winning and Grinning Give-A-Palooza. It's fun and it's free with great prizes. Think of us next time you have any automotive need and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. There is a chance of seeing some showers, some scattered thunderstorms, or high temperatures today in the low to mid-90s. There's a chance of seeing isolated showers, a few thunderstorms tonight. The night low will drop down in the low to mid-70s. And then for Tuesday, blue skies, sunshine, or high on Tuesday in the middle to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 33 days. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I put my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down,
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Well, it took a while, but the sun is shining brightly where I am right now. And some pretty nasty storms come through overnight. Thank goodness, too. Cools things down a little bit. Before we get, it looks like for me, about 4, maybe 5 days in a row of triple-digit temperatures. Oh, boy. Sounds like a great time for high school practice to start, right? Thank goodness you can't do the two-a-days any longer. Two-a-day and 102 degrees, I'm not sure if that would work for my body. Matt Jones, I'm assuming you went through a few two-a-days and 100-degree temperatures during your time.
Oh, yeah. That was before the rules were changed. Now you can't do back-to-back two-a-days. You can't there's all sorts of differences now that they don't. They have a lot more walkthroughs, I believe. But, yeah, we would man, it was some of the best. My favorite was definitely bow practice, getting a scrimmage there. But, yeah, two-a-days. Man, there's nothing like camp. There's nothing like it. It's a grind, and once it starts, man, it's here. In those first 2 weeks, it only takes you about a day and a half, and then every chance you get a second to sleep, you just go right to sleep.
How do you get through a two-a-day? Do you nap in between?
If you can, you'd like to get a nap in between, but there's no problem sleeping. I mean, as soon as your head hits the pillow, you are out.
I love days like that. I really do.
You're working. Yeah, it's just you're showing up and you're grinding every day. You work and you're doing it with your brothers. You have one common goal. It's kind of a bonding thing. It's there's nothing like camp.
Well, it's also like you have a really heavy activity or something that involves just being outdoors for a long time with the kids.
Like hiking Pinnacle Mountain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could have fallen asleep yesterday on the way back.
Yeah.
It was I did. I went up Pinnacle yesterday at about 10:30 in the morning. It was it wasn't 100 degrees, but it was toasty.
A lot
you
of
get
shade,
up to the top
though.
there too.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but you get up to the top and it's all open for anybody.
It's beautiful up there.
You can cook yourself on those rocks.
Yeah.
And I could have fallen asleep. If I had a kid with me, that kid would have fallen asleep on the way back. Easy. Got a couple of callers on our McClarty Daniel hotline that have been on hold. Let's take the calls. We got Ryan in Hot Springs first. Ryan, how you doing, man? What's up?
Oh, doing pretty good. I had a question for Matt. He was talking about us not being as fast as some of these other teams. I was hoping he would expand on what kind of clarify on that. Is he talking like our defense versus their offense, or did he mean across the board, like also our offense against some of the other defenses? And I feel like we've kind of upgraded a little bit on across the board. I don't understand why nobody's talking about this team possibly going 10-2, and with depending on how we do in the bowl season, we could potentially with 11 games this year, and the potential 2 losses, of course, would be Bama and LSU. I'm saying that everything goes our way and we stay healthy. I mean, I like our chances to beat A&M. I like our chances to beat Ole Miss this year. I mean, you're talking about 2 games there where the last time they were there, you're talking about it. KJ knows how that game went last year, and he knows how close he was to beating Ole Miss 2 years ago, and he wants to avenge that loss. He does because he grew up there. So I think there's going to be a little extra motivation there, and I genuinely like our chances to go 10-2, provided we stay healthy and everything goes our way this year. But I feel like that's on the table. I just kind of wanted your thoughts on that, and again, I'm not necessarily predicting that because there's got to be a lot of things go our way that way, but I don't think it's off the table either, though. That's my thoughts. Great day and go Hogs.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I right now I got them going 9-3. That hinges on at least winning one of those 4 games that we hash on so much after the 3rd week of the season. Got to win either in Baton Rouge against A&M, in Oxford, or Tuscaloosa. I mean, I say that just thinking it ain't going to happen. But you win one of those games, 9 wins is definitely within the realm of possibility.
Well, and what I'm saying is those first 3 games of the year, we're going to be the more talented of the team. Like we're going to make we're going to make more big plays. We're going to take a little slant 70. We're going to get an interception return for a touch. We're going to do some things that it's going to make you look, and you're going to be like, oh, we're really good. But it's because these teams aren't. These first 3 games, they're not. And if we don't do that in these first 3 games, then it's a totally different thing. And then it's kind of what Phil was saying. Then it ramps up. Then all of a sudden, once you get to LSU, that's as fast and physical and strong and as good as any team's going to be in the SEC. So that's when you're going to find out. That's the true litmus test, is when we go to at LSU September 23rd.
I think it's a team with more speed than last year. I think, but I'm not sure. I mean, I think Landon Jackson is 100% healthy.
Satania, he can go.
Satania getting a chance to play more. Jaheim Singletary, like, you're not a 5-star who committed to Georgia if you don't in the secondary, if you can't run, like, you can't blaze. I mean, there's no doubt the kid can run. Chris Paul, he's got great speed.
He's got great instincts, man. He sees it and goes and gets it.
But I wonder if Arkansas is still going to have the same kind of depth of speed as LSU, as A&M, and as Alabama.
We just got to have a couple playmakers is what I'm saying. Who's that going to be? Who's your Traylon Burks? Hazelwood's a possession guy. We had last year, we had some possession guys. And so who's going to be the playmaker? Who's outside when you get them the ball, they can take it somewhere and go and get it. And even A.J. Green and DeBinion and Rocket, what are they? Are any of them 4-4 guys? Are they all 4-5 guys? That's what I mean. You got to have a Darren McFadden, a Fred Talley. You got to have somebody who outside, when they get it, man, they take it to the house.
You would love to see him take it to the house rather than get tackled at the 15-yard line, especially with the struggles you had in the red zone last year.
Everything goes so much faster in the red zone. You get there, you gotta be real clear and clean and tight on everything when you get down in the red zone.
Now, you'd mentioned that you really enjoyed the scrimmages during bowl practice. What was it about those that stood out to you, aside from preseason?
I always liked playing where it was
scrimmage is like playing.
Yeah, like, hey man, it's first down and 10. Let's go. What's the play? And then with second down, it's everything in practice is scripted. You might run 7 straight plays that are first and 10 plays. Then it's like, all right, we're going to work on red zone today. We're going to work on 3rd and 4 today. We're going to work on 3rd and 11 today. You kind of have a thing that you're working on, then you put it into motion for the game. The game that's the open playbook. It's like, all right, we're filling it out and we're going and getting it.
Let's go back to the McLarty Daniel hotline. We got Charlie with us now. What's up, Charlie? How are you today?
What's up? Hey, Phil, have you got a chance to check out on the Hog Pod Jimmy Smith's little? Have you listened to that?
I saw that on the website this morning. I haven't put it on yet, but that'll be in my queue.
I've only watched 5 minutes of it, and I'm already about to cry. I mean, this dude's story is just I'm not even gonna tell it to you because it's amazing. So I'm just gonna let it be that, and I'll let you listen to it. But Aaron Rodgers, Matt, I'm gonna come to his defense a little bit. For the first time in a few years, in the past, I feel like sometimes he'll say things to the media, and it'll come out wrong. But he came to his coach's defense, and I love it. I like Sean Payton too, but I don't, necessarily agree with him calling out a former coach.
Charlie, I think it was weird. I think it was weird how Payton, just kind of. So what happened? They asked him. The author of that article asked him, so what happened last year with Russell Wilson? So there was his opportunity to say what happened last year, but he did mention names, and then he all of a sudden points out the team that the old coach is coordinating for. This was It was like he did Aaron Rodgers a favor by calling out the Jets, by calling out Nathaniel Hackett. If Rodgers didn't come to his teams and his offensive coordinator's defense, I'd have thought there's something wrong. That already he's not a fan of those guys. That was just teed up for Rodgers to say, get my coach's name out of your mouth.
He did kind of put it on a silver platter, but if you think about Rodgers in the past, I don't know if he's always done that. And I'm not saying.
Oh, he wouldn't have done that with Mike McCarthy. No way.
Absolutely, no way. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. So it's crazy, and I love it. And one more thing before I go though, Matt, I wanted to ask you. We always talk about situational football. these games, let's just think about it. We all know they're going to be close. And you talked about giving yards up and taking the ball away on defense. But I want to talk about something. We just, to me, have to be better. If we're talking about red zone, we're not talking about just offense. Defensively, too. Can you hold people to 3? Can you hold people to 3 down there in the red zone? You know, because I don't know if we did. I don't know what our ranking was last year at that. We probably were not very good in red zone defense. I know our offense was awful. So if we could just be better in situational football, you know, I can tell with the strength and conditioning staff, they're bigger, you know, and faster, it seems like. But we got to be better in situational football. It's as simple as that. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie. I mean, I feel like games are won and lost inside the 20. It's traveling between the 20s only means you got that close. You got to get it in the end zone, and that's also, like you said at times too. Maybe in the first half, it's okay to get 3 points instead of nothing, depending on what the score is.
It's the ultimate team game. It really is. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch, to see who steps up and see who the playmakers are. And it seems like each day, Phil, I get a little more excited.
Red zone last year, Arkansas scored 66% touchdowns in the red zone. Got in the red zone 59 times. Opponents were inside the red zone 54 times and scored almost the same percentage, 65%. But opponents scored more often when you add field goals into that. See, Arkansas wouldn't take the field goal certainly in the first few weeks, and that did come back to haunt them at times. Calls and texts on a McClarty-Daniel hotline are coming in at 877-377-6963. The entire inventory from McClarty-Daniel is online at McClartyDaniel.com. And we'll come back with more halftime after a very quick break.
As I can see, and I'm worn out from working too hard. Why don't you give me a break? I know that lately things ain't been so good. I'll make it up just like I told you I would. But I'm tired and I wanna sit down to ease the soul backache. You say you're having trouble figuring me. I don't believe I'm such a mystery. Baby, what you get is what you see. I am a simple man. I want a job and a piece of land. 3 squares in my frying pan. Don't seem so hard to me to understand. I am a simple man.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
You don't want to see cracks in your pipes or your plumber. Let Westburn Plumbing get you right for the summer. We tuck in our shirts and work, we're experts. So if things don't blow your way, we can get it to work. Say no to crack and we'll give you 20 back. 646-5151. Looking for a plumber, call a nail, give you one. 646-5151. Looking for a plumber, call a nail, give you one. Say no to crack and get 20 back, yeah. Westburn Plumbing, expert drain clean search. Say no to crack and get 20 back, yeah.
Everybody's life is a journey, their own personal adventure, where every direction has a new trail to explore. Sometimes a little rough, sometimes a little muddy, but always exciting. So no matter which way you go, know this: that trail you're on is far too short to compromise.
Your next adventure starts at AutofindersOK.com.
Hey, this is Jason Christie from Park Hill, Oklahoma, the 2022 Bassmaster Classic champion. I'm excited to tell you about the Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr. It is a smaller version of the Poppin' Pad Crasher, and it's a bait I'm going to use all summer on the Arkansas River. Frog fishing is one of my favorite things to do when summer fishing, and Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr. is the right size and has the right hook set up to catch them. It's available at lurenet.com and tackle stores everywhere. The Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 Exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush Light Beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
With Hardee's Double Deals, get a double cheeseburger or bacon double cheeseburger starting at just $2.99. That's double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese. Or double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese and bacon. Both starting at only $2.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant or app for details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
Everyone I know has a big butt. Come on, Simone, let's talk about your big butt.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Pee Wee Herman was about 3 weeks short of his 71st birthday when he passed away last night. And when you play this song, Tequila, I can't think of another movie where one scene just now is always associated with that song, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the biker bar scene. I guess I could think of
Pineapple Express,
Layla, and Goodfellas. There's that scene where you see that was like kind of towards the middle-endish portion of the movie. You see a lot of the murdered Goodfellas, and you get the original version, the slower version of Layla in the background.
You got him frozen in the ice truck there.
Yep.
I think maybe like a Tarantino, his type of movies, he's good about it.
The movie Blow with...
Paul Rubens is in Blow.
There you go.
That's right.
Speaking of Paul Rubens movies. Sorry, I cut you off though, but
It's this song though, man. I mean, you can't hear this song without thinking of Pee Wee breakdancing and becoming great friends with the bikers.
he was trying to use the phone.
Yes, he was. 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel hotline or text line. And Jody in Harrison says he hears that song, he thinks of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You must be a little bit younger than I am, Jody. Yeah, Tiny Dancer, Almost Famous. Derek from Rogers texting that in. That's the scene where they're all singing in the plane as just before it starts going down. And then JT in Laurel, Mississippi, Sandlot. What song in Sandlot are you talking about?
Is it the Ray Charles song during the 4th of July scene? That's probably what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Is America the Beautiful?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I still think Tequila and Pee Wee's Big Adventure go together better than Milk and Cookies do.
Well, it's Black Betty is the song I was thinking of in Blow, and then you got I Want to Be Your Dog in probably just about every Guy Ritchie movie he does, but Snatch, it's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
So July 30th, 2023, Pee Wee Herman died. You know, July 31st, 17 years ago, we lost Paul Eels.
Oh, yeah.
Today's the anniversary. Coming back from Fayetteville on Interstate 40, and I lived in Arkansas and was 23 years. I have never seen such an outpouring of sadness, and I think people still feel that to this day. If you grew up listening to Paul, if you had a chance to meet him and got to know him a little bit. He was a special guy, there's no doubt, and a special broadcaster on top of being just the nicest man on earth. I've never met anybody that was that genuinely nice, that you actually believed this man was that nice and that good at what he does.
My freshman year, just doing an interview with him, he instantly made you feel comfortable. He had this grandfather type feel to him where you felt like you were in a safe spot.
Well, in so many moments Matt, we still play these moments during our commercial breaks. You know, the Miracle in Markham is always going to be. You know, I didn't listen to it as it was happening, but I've heard that call hundreds of times, and I used to wonder what makes. He had such simple calls that became iconic. Oh my, that's something that Dick Enberg used to say, or Touchdown Arkansas. But there was a certain way that he said it. It wasn't the words; it was the emotion behind the words. Like when you heard him scream "Oh my," you really knew that he just saw something that almost came out of left field. That was that special. And he did it for 28 years, calling Arkansas games at KTV as well. And that's a great instance of somebody that became iconic in the state of Arkansas and was not born here and did not, start his career here. This was just sort of on the path to wherever Paul thought he was going to end up in life. Nashville, where we just learned a few months ago that he worked with Pat Sajak on the same TV station. Sajak was the meteorologist, and Paul did the sports reports in Nashville. So it was a month before the season started, and I remember seeing there were people crying in the streets. I mean, there were people crying on television, live on TV, over that. And he was a hero to so many people across the state. So I want your memories of Paul Eels. If you had a chance to meet him, what was your memory of meeting him? 877-377-6963. I didn't grow up listening to Paul Eels, so I didn't have that childhood connection with him. But when I moved to Arkansas, I'm a student of radio. I wanted to hear what the voice of the Razorbacks sounded like. And there wasn't anybody quite that sounded like Paul. And then doing Travelers games, and he would cover the Travelers too, working at KTV. He would come over. He was totally interested in anything going on with the Travelers. This was a guy who didn't have to give the Travelers the time of day, but he covered them as if they meant something to him and to the viewers and to the community at large. And although I wasn't an Arkansas fan when I moved here, I loved listening to Paul Eels because he was a pro. He was a pro's pro. Always sounded like he had a smile on his face, and I don't know how you pull that off unless you really just have a smile on your face all the time. And you know what? When you saw Paul Eels, he did have a smile on his face almost all the time.
Every time I saw him, he brought a smile to my face. You know, he had a very genuine way about him, and it was always a good interaction. And yeah, he brought it.
Well, and the folks that worked with him loved him, truly loved him. And you know, I've gotten to know people that were in his golf foursome for all those years. Harry King, got to know Harry a little bit. You know, Orville Henry, I think, played with him for years. Clay obviously knew Paul so well, so I think he would be on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas media. I'm talking about all Arkansas media, not just sports media, and I'm talking all time since radio became a thing in the 19-teens and up until the invention of television. Paul Eels would be one of the top 4 media members of all time in the state of Arkansas, and I really don't know anybody that would disagree with that. And if you did, I don't know if you would do it publicly. 877-377-6963 for those who want to talk or text about Paul Eels. And we're reminded, yes, from 479, he was at Vanderbilt before here. Yep, that's what he was doing in Nashville outside of working on the TV station. That's right. The Sandlot tequila plays while they're on the carnival ride.
Is that when they have the bar
eat the
for
tobacco?
Rama?
That's
Yeah.
right. Tequila and tobacco would do the same thing to those kids, wouldn't they?
I think the one time I tried dipping tobacco, I had a similar reaction.
And I was thinking of the song "Lowrider" on Pineapple Express, so it's wrong song.
See, this song to me is like, this is, I can't think of another. So the Sandlot, yes, that's an iconic scene, and that song goes along with it. But I still don't put it quite at the level of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because
You know, Phil,
the kids were not dancing to the song at a
That's
biker
right.
bar on top of the bar. Like what dude can actually? You can't get on a bar now if you're a male. You're gonna be shoved off the bar. Only women are allowed on
Only
the
at
bar.
Coyote Ugly are women allowed to do that.
That's right.
But you know, Phil, it's the time of your life. You know, it's like for us, you know, Pee-wee's Big Adventure came out 10 years before The Sandlot. You know, by the time The Sandlot came out, you know, I was like 13, 14. I'd already had it in my mind. You know, that was the place for the song. So at that point, I see that scene, and that was that's the song from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's also in this movie I'm watching.
That girl they let dance on the bar in Coyote Ugly, Jersey, she becomes Kevin Costner's love interest in the last season of Yellowstone. I guess they're going to keep doing Yellowstone, but she
Not
has
with Costner anymore.
Yeah, she has about three episodes in there.
What's that guy's name? Taylor Sheridan or whatever. That guy has like 17 different shows on.
He's country as they get, isn't he? He's like a real rodeo cowboy country.
I didn't even realize that was him in the show for the longest.
Oh
time.
yeah.
As I understand, I think he now lives on the ranch, or a ranch that's kind of the same size as the one in the show. And I still haven't gotten to the final season of Yellowstone, so I wasn't sure who Costner's girlfriend was.
The one that's married to Costner's daughter, and with the black beard, and they're getting into the car to go on like a 6-hour road trip or 8-hour, whatever they're riding. They turn the music on. He's like, "No, I'm gonna listen to the air conditioner."
It's Beth, right? That's this one character I remember.
Yeah,
You'll never forget Beth.
I would have already kicked her out of the car.
She might have kicked you out of the car first.
She can walk home.
She's a little more cutthroat than you are.
I think she would too. Right. Yeah, she'd probably run me over.
She is quite more cutthroat than you are. You are way too nice. She is not that. Not that at all. Speaking of road trips, in a couple of Fridays, Matt Jones and I are going to be in Branson. Ballparks of America. Just a couple of days from now, the Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series begins. The tournament featuring 12-year-old baseball players from all over the world. And the tournament lasts from August 2nd through the 12th. The fields at the Ballparks of America in Branson are designed and look somewhat like St. Louis's Busch Stadium, Chicago's Wrigley Field, Ebbets in Brooklyn, Fenway in Boston, Tiger Stadium in Detroit. And they're going to have literally hundreds of 12-year-olds that are staying on site at the Ballparks of America. This is a unique facility. I've never seen anything like it before. The teams live at the Ballparks of America, And they eat there. There are video game arcades for them and the baseball parks for them to play at. I've never seen anything like it. Matt and I are there August 11th, Friday, from 11 to 2 for a live edition of Halftime. And you can get more information on the Cal Ripken Major 70 World Series in Branson at explorebranson.com. 877-377-6963 is our McClarty Daniel hotline for calls and texts. And Halftime is back after this.
There goes my hero,
Tommy Smith for Bet Saracen.
Hey, if you're like me and enjoy putting a little something on your favorite sporting event, then get Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Download the app or go to betsaracen.com. Oh, and by the way, I finally upgraded my 20-year-old flip phone so I can actually play too.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Halftime.
The back-to-school blowout sale. This weekend only at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. This Thursday through Monday, Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford has every vehicle on the lot deeply discounted with matching down payments up to $2,500, as low as 0% financing, and multiple lenders on hand to get you financed. And as always, more for your trade. The back-to-school blowout sale. This Thursday through Monday at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
What's up, JD? I love what you do with cars. 7 straight years of the best detail here in the River Valley.
Thanks, Matt. You should come check out our Cars and Coffee. Every first Saturday of the month at JD's River Valley Restoration, we're going to do a Cars and Coffee. 5606 Towson. Come check out Queen Bean's Espresso on the lot.
What separates you from all the other detail companies in the River Valley?
Quality and consistency is what keeps bringing our customers back. But most importantly, it's the customer service that matters the most to us.
My ride looks brand new.
JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a number 2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila, you'll have a recipe for magic.
This is Ty Richardson. When I think of rich history and tradition in Fort Smith, I think of Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria has won the best pizza and bar in Fort Smith the past 25 straight years. So if you want to experience legendary pizza, awesome drinks, and memories for a lifetime, swing by Papa's, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Are you feeling the heat this summer with soaring electric bills? Upgrade your AC system with Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric this August and experience the ultimate comfort in your home. This month, receive up to $500 off on attic insulation when you upgrade your AC. That's right, proper attic insulation can significantly reduce your energy bills, keeping your home cooler and more efficient. Worried about the cost? We've got you covered. With approved credit, enjoy payments as low as $99 a month. Picture this. Lower energy bills can help you cover the cost of your new system. Now that's a win-win situation. So don't wait. Call Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric now and save with a new AC system and installation this August. Say goodbye to high electric bills and hello to ultimate comfort. Visit GoPaschal.com now and schedule your free estimate. With approved credit, exclusions apply. See dealer for details. Professional people, professional service, Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Little men's basketball scheduling update. The Crimson and Cream Classic is going to be renewed. Arkansas and Oklahoma will play for a third consecutive year at the BOK Center in Tulsa, December the 9th. They made that announcement a little less than an hour ago, so that means they'll probably be playing in perpetuity after that because OU joins the conference the year after. So 3 years in a row, non-conference. Arkansas 1-1 against OU in Tulsa in these past 2 years. And Oklahoma, they need a little bit of an improvement after 15-17 record last year. Hogs took care of them last season but got drubbed in Oklahoma 2 years ago. And that just coming out from the athletic department recently. So now we know about the Purdue exhibition game, Alcorn State, the season opener, Gardner-Webb, Old Dominion, North Carolina, Greensboro, Duke, Oklahoma, Lipscomb, Abilene Christian, and North Carolina Wilmington as non-conference opponents for Razorback men's basketball this upcoming season. I like the matchup with OU, Matt. I mean, it's kind of halfway between Fayetteville and Norman. The BOK Center is a great facility. You get a chance for it to be like a 50-50 split. I think it felt more like a home game last year. And I always like when the Razorbacks play Oklahoma, so we might as well just get used to it, right? And be playing them every year.
Yeah,
at least in hoops.
It's always an interesting matchup. I mean, I think OU when Blake Griffin went there, Trey Young went there. They've had some studs come through Oklahoma.
To the McClarty Daniel Hotline, Greg in Farmington is with us now. What's up, Greg? How are you?
Hey, my friends. How's everything going? Hope you all had a great weekend. Man, you're talking about Paul Ills, and that's just bringing memories to the surface because, I met Paul Ills back around 2000, and we kind of struck up of an acquaintance. So it seems like every time he was in town, he'd come into where I was working. And the thing I will always remember about Paul Ills is that he treated everybody with respect. He didn't talk down to anybody. He treated, whether you were Joe Blow off the street or the athletic director or whoever, he treated everybody with respect. And I'll always remember that about Paul Ills. Well, one of the things you mentioned about Paul, he had that indistinguishable voice. I mean, you could have been a room full of 1,000 people, but if Paul Ills said something, you knew it was him because he just had that voice that stuck out. And I think that's what made his play announcing so special was just his voice. So I just wanted to chime in and say long live Paul Ills, long live Pee Wee Herman, and everybody have a great day.
Put those two gentlemen in the same sentence must have been the first time that's ever happened. But, yes, it fits. And Paul was the last play-by-play announcer for Arkansas football to do games where not every game was on television. I mean, so at that point, radio was your connection to the game. And so it's a lot different than it is now. A lot of people listen to the game still, but they'll listen to the game with the television on and turn down ESPN or or CBS or whomever because you want to hear the Arkansas perspective, but you can still see what's going on. And you know, Paul, I don't remember the year that every game got televised, but not every one of them was televised. And so you really did have that connection where the name, the man, or the person who's doing the game is just synonymous with the team. And I think Paul belongs in that same conversation as, like a Larry Munson in Georgia. I think Munson did games a little longer than Paul did, national titles too. A Jack Crystal in Mississippi. Those sort of legends. And I think of, like who I grew up listening to. People that we've had him on the show. Bill Hillgrove, Pitt broadcaster, Steelers, also always sounds like he's got a smile on his face. Even if the team isn't doing well, it's like you're doing something that you're lucky to do. I think Paul he had to have felt that way. To be covering Arkansas athletics and everything going on around Central Arkansas. It just seemed to be, to me, when you watched him on KTV, when you heard him do games, and then when you talked to him, that he loved his life, he loved what he did, he loved his family, and I think he appreciated being the voice of the Razorbacks. 877-377-6963 on any thoughts about that.
I'm trying to think. Some of mine would have been like Keith Jackson, Pat Summerall, Dick Vitale, John Madden. When I was growing up, those would have been some of the ones. Of course, Paul Ills, but those would have been some of the other guys you kind of.
I can imagine you being in the car with your dad, like on a Saturday, and the game's not on television. Let's just say 1995, 96. Every game wasn't on TV then. That's your only way to listen to it, the only way to keep up with it. And then for that guy to be calling your games, Matt, I don't know if you ever thought about that, but it's just an interesting thing to be able to know that happened. You grew up listening to somebody, and then he's calling your games. But the radio guys are the ones that really just have that connection to the team specifically. You mentioned Vern Lundquist, and they have a connection to the conference and to the network they're calling games for. And, of course, to how often did Vern call a game with Alabama, right? It happened all the time. When you're the broadcaster for a team specifically, there's a chance that team isn't very good, right? CBS gets the best game of the week, usually. So you got to be able to translate what's happening on the field in a way that you can at least make it sound like you enjoy what you're doing while conveying disappointment at the same time. I think Paul was really good at that. And it's not like I model myself after him, and I'm not the same kind of person. Chuck is not either. But we're not competing with that, This is just, you grow into that role. And I can imagine, I don't know, if it took Paul a few years to be where he was, I don't know if accepted is the right word, because when you first moved to Arkansas,
you kind of get comfortable.
There's a little skepticism about outsiders moving to the state. I know this because I've lived through that. Chuck is an Arkansas native. He's from here. He knows, he's baked in the history of the Razorbacks. Paul's from Iowa. He's from Iowa, so that was something I never got a chance to talk with him about. That's something I would have been really interested to hear what his experiences were, when it was that he felt that he was truly accepted as not just the voice of the Razorbacks, but as, quote-unquote, one of us, because it takes a little while to get there. And he got there, and then he was completely beloved for very good reason.
Had the black and gold Iowa Hawkeyes and the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers, just both you guys, yep.
That's right. Maybe there's the
now you got the red. Now you got the red going on.
See, tomorrow the trading deadline, 5
Shohei Ohtani, is he going to go? No way? Yeah.
No, they're not. The Angels made an interesting trade yesterday, Matt. They traded to the Rockies and brought back 2 former Angels first-round picks, like guys that were drafted by the Angels but didn't establish themselves in the major leagues with the Angels. Randall Grichuk was one of their 2 first-round choices in 2009. The other guy was Mike Trout. And Grichuk, I think he was selected 1 spot in front of Trout. The Angels had back-to-back first-round picks. Trout's a Hall of Famer. Grichuk's just a good major leaguer. And then C.J. Cron, who was drafted in the first round by the Angels out of Utah in 2011. So both of these guys, like Grichuk has been with the Cardinals and the Blue Jays and now the Rockies. Crone bounced around a little bit, and now they both get dealt to the Angels. I saw that yesterday. They were both on my 2012 Travelers. That was an Angels team.
How cool is that?
I thought to myself, gosh, 2012 called. They want their Travs back. But there's proof. I mean, they're bolstering their lineup. Then they said last week they're not going to trade Ohtani. And I think part of that is you just don't know what the market is. I don't think Shohei Ohtani ever gets traded, ever, until he's either just a pitcher or just a hitter. And what will happen to my guess as he goes later in his career, something will happen to the arm, and he'll just be a hitter for the remainder of his career. That's when he gets traded because there's no market for somebody that is the best.
And he could play first base if he wanted to, right? Like he could play whatever position he could. Yeah. So
I bet he's a pretty good outfielder.
Yeah, but if your arm, you don't even have to have surgery there. I mean, if your arm's messed up, you still play first base. Is there any big names? The only one I've seen and I've heard, Phil, was Justin Verlander. That was talking about, but is there any teams or any names? Who do you think, or who are you hearing? Anybody that would go?
No, it's right now. It's Verlander, and I think that's about it. There'll be some smaller names, in the right way to put it.
But Verlander's probably going to go,
or not Hall of Famers that are getting traded.
Yeah.
I think Verlander. Apparently, the rumors are heating up that
back
the Dodgers,
to Houston.
To the Dodgers,
yeah.
And I think Jack Flaherty is going to probably get traded by St. Louis. And I wonder if the Dodgers be interested in him. He's a Los Angeles guy. I don't know if they would trade for both of them, but if the Mets ask for too much for Verlander, well, the Cardinals wouldn't ask for quite as much for Jack Flaherty. So, and then one of those two guys will end up with the Dodgers.
How many of these World Series have the Dodgers won? Because I know last year they went 116 games and got
won one.
Are they kind of underachieving? Are they the Braves in sense of the Braves of the 90s?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
They need to win another World Series.
Well, and they also won the World Series that nobody will remember. Like the Braves won 1995, which was the year after the strike. So it's not that there's an asterisk. It's that people remember it. It's a world championship and all that, but there's a but because the strike was the year before.
Like the Lakers winning in the bubble.
Well, and that's where the Dodgers won. They won
the COVID year.
It wasn't a bubble, but it was a COVID year. It was a 60-game schedule. So it's a World Series, but there's a big but. There's two asterisks that belong next to that. And this year, I think they're not quite as good as they have been previously. So I wonder if Dylan Cease from the White Sox could get dealt. And another thing to watch for, here's another guy that could get traded, Dallas Keuchel. You remember he signed that contract with the Twins, and tomorrow is his opt-out day. So the Twins will either bring him up to the big leagues, and by the way, Keuchel at AAA St. Paul has allowed 4 runs in 32 innings. I guess he's added a couple of miles per hour from the year before while he was working out at Driveline. So the Twins either bring him up, trade him, or they get nothing for him, and he just opts out tomorrow and goes something else. So he's either going to get traded or called up today. And good on Keuchel for reviving what he's allowed 4 runs in 32 innings at AAA. I bet you could be a good back-of-the-rotation starter for a contender, which very well may be Minnesota. All right, let's break. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Halftime is right back.
Fort Smith's largest used car sale ever has been extended through Monday, July the 31st at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 500 vehicles available. Cars as low as $59.95. Bring your trade-in. Multiple appraisers on hand to bid on your car. Over 30 banks to get you finance, even if you've been told no somewhere else. Get no payments for up to 90 days, plus state sales tax paid on every used car. The July summer sale, extended through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Melissa Vitale, owner of True Grit Running Company. Your young athlete deserves the best when it comes to footwear. After all, it's good to start early so they don't have problems in the future. We've got options for training, cross-country, gym class, and more. Our well-trained staff can guide your student athlete through our personalized fit process to help find that True Grit fit. And for our cross-country kids, we offer a 10% discount off of your total purchase. Visit our store in Fort Smith, located behind Chick-fil-A.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is making the middle of the week something to look forward to. Wednesdays is Nacho Average Wednesday. Get $1 off all nachos every Wednesday and try the all-new ballpark-style pork nachos. And draft or bottled beers are $1 off. Every Thursday is Throwback Thursday. Enjoy some of the old Cuco's classic platters, just the way you remember them. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith.
Hey River Valley, this is Caleb DeWitt with Carco Auto Sales. As many of you know, parts of Fort Smith and Van Buren were recently affected by a hailstorm, and our lot was no exception. Our inventory may have received minor hail damage, but with that comes a major discount. Choose from late model cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all with thousands off the original price tag. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith or visit us online at www.buyfromcarco.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. I love you so much, can't count all the ways I died for you, girl, and all they can say is he's not your kind. They never get tired of putting me down, and I never know when I come around what I'm gonna find. Don't let them make up your mind. Don't you know, girl, you'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You guys have seen the videos of the rash of attacking would be the way to put it. Like, if you got a performer on stage at a concert and someone throws a phone at them, that's getting attacked, right? That, to me,
that's assault, brother.
A physical assault of some sort. Cardi B yesterday was doing a show, and a lady in the first couple of rows, I think she inadvertently threw her beer in Cardi B's direction.
She threw her hands in the air. She was waving them like she just didn't care. Unfortunately, she still had a beer in her hand.
She had a beer, that's right. And the next thing you know, Cardi B fired a microphone right back at her.
If she had hit somebody else, that could have done some damage.
The funny thing about this is that Cardi B kept singing without a microphone, proof that she was lip-syncing during the concert.
Shocking.
Right. I'm not sure how much she sings anyway, but...
They should. I mean, you go to the concert.
You should be able to throw
put your
stuff at 'em,
phone.
right?
Well, put your phone in a. I mean, go to watch the show. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, this one was a little. I don't know if it wasn't even intentional that the drink got thrown at her, but the way she within a fraction of a second, the drink hit her, and then the microphone flew out of her hand. And if that had hit the wrong person,
would either one of you guys, if y'all were a front man for some rock and roll band or whatever genre of music y'all wanted to do,
how about Red Dirt Country?
There you go. You could be the next Brantley Gilbert. And so whenever would either one of you guys crowd surf? Would y'all like to just run up and just dive off the stage?
Country artists crowd surf?
Well,
is that a country thing?
I haven't been to one of these.
2023, it may be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I never pictured Texas Red Dirt Country as crowd surfing music.
It was an odd genre for Matty T to be a band. Since it was make-believe band, you can choose your genre.
Hypothetical.
You want to pick another genre, Matty? Yeah, heavy metal. Yeah, there you go.
Death metal.
I don't know if Cardi B's doing any crowd surfing anytime soon. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. And no BE, Cardi B has no eligibility left for college sports, but she's got plenty of eligibility for other things. And halftime is right back.
The back-to-school blowout sale at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. We're getting ready for back-to-school with the biggest savings of the summer. The front row is loaded up again this weekend with the manager specials.
Yes, manager specials up to $12,000 off. Tommy, every single vehicle we have out here will have a discount on it, and that manager special row is looking pretty. These are units that have just been here a couple days too long. Most of them still have factory warranty. Come down here, get a bang for your buck, save yourself thousands of dollars, and buy from Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford.
Plus, you got the test drive giveaway. It doesn't cost anything to enter, and you're giving away some great gift cards to get ready for back to school.
No purchase necessary. You're right. Hey, all you have to do is come down here, go on a test drive, get your name entered for the drawing. And I mean, Tommy, hey, we've got so much going on. Matching down payments up to $2,500, no payments up to 90 days. I promise you, if you're driving around this weekend, you're looking for a vehicle, come down to Harry Robinson. Let me save you some money.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds. There is a chance of seeing some showers, some scattered thunderstorms. Our high temperatures today in the low to mid-90s. There's a chance of seeing isolated showers, a few thunderstorms tonight. And overnight low will drop down in the low to mid-70s. And then for Tuesday, blue skies, sunshine, or high on Tuesday in the middle to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 33 days. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope, hold the rope, hold the rope. I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope, hold the rope. On three. 1, 2, 3. Turn that damn
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back for hour number 3 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Matt Travis got you for another 60 minutes. And you can call or text us at 877-377-6963 for your McClarty Daniel hotline. 33 days away from kickoff. We are 2 days away from Sam Pittman and Ben Souders speaking to the media. Basketball has let us know that Coach Muss is going to talk tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of a busy week as far as talking with a couple of the head coaches for the teams we talk about a lot. We got practice getting started on Friday. Maxwell Award watch list has come out. You know what that means now, Matt? We had spring season, we had talking season, and now it's watch list season. Because for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be inundated with about 24 different lists of preseason watch lists. It's just always fun to try to compare the preseason list to the actual finalists. But KJ Jefferson and Rocket Sanders are on the preseason Maxwell Award watch list. Can't be surprised about that. One of the best running backs returning in the country, one of the best quarterbacks returning in the country.
That's pretty cool for both of them. What a good honor, and that means you got to step up and be a leader and make plays. And when the other team's going over the offensive scouting report, they're going to start it with those two guys. That's so that everybody is trying to stop you guys. So it's a good honor, but you got to show up and you got to be ready to go.
Green might have that breakaway speed that you
is he
about.
fast? Is he got a little speed to him? I just haven't seen it. We haven't really seen him. I've seen him catch a screen pass and go. I love how DeBinion runs. I love how AJ Green. I love his hands. It's been a lot of rocket, and I would like to. And some people, game speed, and you get to school, everybody runs a 4.4. You get up there, everybody's like, oh, I run a 4.4, and they really run 4.6s.
Right.
It's.
Looking at AJ's numbers for 2 years, 641
What's
yards.
his longest run?
4.8 yards per carry. I don't have a longest run on him just yet, but yeah, that's a good question.
What's his longest run in conference play? Yeah.
You do wonder about it. I think he's got that kind of speed.
I hope so. Let's see it, man. Let's let it loose. I'd like to see AJ Green catch a little screen pass and catch a crease right there and take 170.
I just wonder if Arkansas, last year, 605 rushes, 357 pass attempts. Now, obviously, some pass attempts turned into runs because KJ would tuck the ball and take off. But that's still about 2 runs for every 1 pass. And I have a feeling you're going to have a little bit more balance now it won't be balanced. Like, it's not going to be 50-50. This is still going to be a run-oriented team. And I wonder if Rocket gets to the level of carries that he had last year, 17 carries per game. Now, you're getting Dominique Johnson back. You know this coaching staff loves Dominique if he's healthy. And when I say this coaching staff, I should just say Sam Pittman, because he's the one, who's left from the start of Dominique's career at Arkansas. A.J. Green can run. A.J. Green can catch out of the backfield.
Like his hands.
You're a big fan of Dubinion.
Like Dubinion. I love his style, and that's the other thing. He's a little bit different style. He kind of has that Miami style where he's shifty, but he's falling forward, leaning forward every time he gets tackled.
Rocket averaged 17 carries per game. I feel like he could handle 25. I don't know if you want to do that to him, but with the depth at that position, there's no way he gets to 20 per game.
Well, and what you're talking about when we're saying rushes to passes, the quick passing game can be an extension of the run game. And when you have receivers out there, when you have running backs that have hands like Rocket, who played receiver, A.J. Green, that can catch. I think Dubinion can too. Haven't seen it enough. When you're able to throw them the ball quick and just getting them in space, it's like a run play as well.
AJ and Dubinion combined for about 12 carries per game. I just imagine AJ gets a few more carries. KJ, 14 and a half carries per game last year. That number's got to go down.
It's you want it to go to about half that. You got to think how many times, if you're carrying the ball 14 times, you're probably getting hit 9 of them. And based on his style, he's a heat seeker. He's not going to outrun anybody or run away really from anybody. He's going to look for you, and he's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to run over you. He's kind of built like that Big Ben Roethlisberger, Dante Culpepper style. He can just bull Steve McNair. Big strong arm, but can run a little bit. And the thing with Rocket is, so you say 17 carries a game, and it goes back to, I'm with you, Phil, 20 touches. However you want to get him the ball, if it's 12 carries and 8 passes, or however you want to give him the ball, but Rocket needs to be getting 20 touches a game. That's about what he should get. However you want to get him the ball.
Now, under Kendall Briers, you weren't necessarily set up for play action too often, but you're going to have KJ under center sometimes. Heck, it was barely ever under center for the previous 3 years, but he'll be under center more often. And you know that they're still going to. They're not going to run as much, but it's going to be a run-oriented team. They've got to use the play action this year. That's got to be a weapon for this team under Dan Enos. I feel like that is one aspect that we haven't touched on much.
I could see a lot of 20 personnel, a lot of 21 personnel, and a lot of 22 personnel. That's your two backs, whether it be in Rocket, AJ and Dubinion, Dominique in Rocket, but you're being able to get mismatches. And then we had this new influx of tight ends coming in. So you get 22, that's 2 backs and 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, or you can have your 21 with one tight end, your 2 receivers and 2 backs, however you want to mix and match them up.
And each running back does something a little bit differently, just a little bit better than the others, right? I think Rocket is overall the most talented.
He's your every down back. Yeah.
But he can catch it too, and he's got some moves. I don't know if he's the guy who's going to take it to the house from 60 or 70 yards out. We've seen him caught from behind. AJ could be the guy who takes it to the house from that deep out there. Dubinion, man, I don't know if he's got that speed necessarily, but you've referred to his center of gravity as just how he kind of avoids contact.
He's a real running back. He's a great a great change of pace, a great third down back to bring him in.
And Dominique Johnson, he's still is he an odd man out? It still feels surprising that they've kept this whole position group together. I know Dubinion's a sophomore, but Dominique's a 4th-year guy. AJ's a 3rd-year guy. This is Rocket's 3rd year. I was convinced a couple of years ago that AJ Green would transfer just because there were 2 really good running backs in front of him in Rocket Sanders and Dominique Johnson. Now Johnson's injury kind of set him back for a year and a half or so, and AJ is the number 2 guy. But man, that says something about the ability to keep this group together. Because I'm sure that there were overtures. You're not supposed to tamper, but everybody tampers. I'm sure That there were some overtures to A.J. Green and Rashad McBinion.
I would have been giving either one of those guys $500,000 in the collective to come to my school and be the starter. I don't know what a starting running back gets, but yes, those guys could start for a lot of teams in the country. They could start for other teams in the SEC.
877-377-6963 if you want to get in on the conversation on running. We're going to have fewer plays per game. So, I mean, you look at offensive snaps per game for this year compared to the year before, and it's going to be different no matter what. I guess you're probably going to have like 5 or 6, maybe 7 fewer plays.
That's advantage Arkansas. It really is. You shorten the game a little bit, and we have these stable of running backs. You're able to keep – when you're able to keep the other offense off the field – They kind of get a little jumpy. They start pressing a little bit. All of a sudden, they haven't been on the field 7 minutes in a row. Then they go 3 and out, and you're able to get another 6-minute drive. And it's like they start thinking, well, we haven't even broke a sweat yet, and so they start making mistakes.
That is one aspect of college football this next year, to see how many games get to that 3.5-hour mark that they're trying to avoid. You know, with the clocks running on first downs now.
There's a lot of stoppage at the end of the games, don't you think, Phil? Like they get weird. It's like everything goes to the booth for a replay. The last 2 minutes, everything. It's like you forget how to call a game.
You know, Major League Baseball has found a sweet spot between speeding the game up with the pitch timer and ensuring that the reviews don't go too long, where they've cut 27, 28 minutes off of a game on average in a year. They've pulled that off, and it doesn't feel like it's too rushed either. So I mean, it'd be interesting to follow this throughout the college football season, because this is why you've done it. Yes, player safety is part of it, but too many games went to 3 hours and 20 minutes, 3.5 hours, and then people are missing 6 or 7 minutes of the game that they scheduled to watch at 3 o'clock. Well, the game that's at noon went a little long, went too long. So that'll change. Stuttgart Mouth is on the McClarty Daniel hotline. What's up, Mouth? How are you?
Phil and Matt, I am outstanding. How about you guys? Long time no talk.
I know. It's been a while, Mouth. What's been going on?
Oh, Phil, I got 2 things I want to ask you about. Congratulations to Caleb Calley getting a home run in his first professional at bat yesterday. Did you see that?
I did not. Good for Caleb. That's great.
And,
I didn't even know I didn't know where the Mariners sent him. So I'll check on that.
Looked like it was somewhere far, far away.
Yeah, it was in Arizona. It was in that Arizona complex league, like rookie ball. So good for Caleb.
Oh, is that where he's playing?
Yeah, he's at what they used to call it the Fire League. It's at the complex in Arizona, basically where spring training takes place. Nobody's at the games except scouts.
Oh, is that what it was? Because it looked like there wasn't anybody at the game. I just saw it on X or Twitter or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, that'd be Peoria. I think the Mariners train in Peoria, Arizona. So it'd be at the spring training ballpark. I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's just not – they don't have fans that are there to watch them. What else you got, okay. Stuttgart Mouth?
Matt, question for you, and I'm really excited for this football season. I mean, I feel like we should have a really good year, and I tell you who I'm excited to see from watching him at the spring game. I'm excited to – I want your thoughts on what – I'm excited to see Isaiah Satanga, see if he gives us that first speed.
Those over-type routes where you're able to match him up and catch him, 15, 17, 22 yards down on the play action, I think that's going to be perfect for him. I don't want him just to be a clear-out guy. You got to get him the ball because he is our fastest receiver.
Matt, who would you compare the receivers that you played with? Who would you compare his skill set to?
Like a Decory. Well, Decory was a Swiss Army knife. He was Satanya's. He's got a little, maybe like a Carlos Owsley. He's probably faster than Carlos Owsley. Richard Smith, I guess that would be the best one to say it. Richard Smith was a track guy as well. He was an All-American triple jumper. triple long jumper. He was our Z receiver. George Wilson was our X, and Richard was the Z, which means you probably have a little bit more speed. And Richard was he was a big play guy. I mean, you get the ball to Richard, and he had some speed on him.
Hey, Matt, the other day I was watching on YouTube. I watched the highlights of Arkansas, Texas, in Austin. You remember that game, right? I know Mac Brown remembers you.
Razorback W.
That's right. Go Hogs. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Mouth. Good to hear from you on the McClarty Daniel hotline. You can get with us at 877-377-6963. I want to tell you about Factor. This is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You eat well, you save time, and you stay on track reaching your weight goals. You're ready to feel your best while making the most out of your summer adventures? Stick to your wellness goals with premium, ready-to-eat meals featuring high-quality ingredients such as broccolini, leeks, and asparagus. You can treat yourself to 34 weekly restaurant-quality options like prosciutto shrimp risotto, green goddess chicken, and grilled steakhouse filet mignon. It's ready in just 2 minutes. That's Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You head to factormeals.com/HTL50, and you'll get 50% off. Just use the code HTL50 at factormeals.com and get 50% off. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Meanwhile, halftime is back after this.
I think you can be awfully proud of the way your fans are with you. I've never seen stands so full of life. The whole state was behind you. There was a spirit there about it, Coach, and that means that your team has done something that's really great for this state.
Thank you, sir. We're very proud of our fans. They've had a big part in the success that we've had.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Traylon down the sideline. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Back again at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. We're ending the month with a blowout bang here. It's the back-to-school blowout sale. We're really extending what was a great sale at the beginning of the month.
Yes, Tommy, the sale went so good at the beginning of the month, and we had some great offers out there for our customers and our community here. So we decided, let's go ahead and stretch it out until the end of the month. So this is the back-to-school blowout sale. A lot of the same things still going on. We're going to be matching your down payment up to $2,500. No payments up to 90 days. Every single vehicle that we have out here will have a discount on it. So I'm telling you, this weekend is the time to buy. Get down here to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford.
Come take a test drive. You got a free drawing for some back-to-school prizes this weekend.
Yes, and no purchase necessary. Tommy, all you got to do is come drive a vehicle, get your name entered. You better be here too.
Come in, you could win these gift cards that are perfect for back-to-school. It's the back-to-school blowout sale going on this weekend. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and online at harryrobinson.com.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere, the Heddon Super Spook Jr.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
Stop.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, I love this list that you put on our rundown here of the 5 sports urban legends that probably never happened.
I slipped that on there, Phil.
You put that on there?
Yeah, I just thought that'd be interesting for you.
It's good stuff. Every 500-foot home run before StatCast. That's funny. I don't know if I agree with that, but I can see where some of these things might have been embellished over the course of history. Did Josh Gibson really hit a ball that went 580 feet? I do believe some of the home runs that were hit and where they might have landed. The problem is that a lot of these home runs, like for instance, Mickey Mantle hitting one out of Griffith Stadium in Washington, D.C., that was measured 565 feet from home plate to where the ball stopped rolling. So it's not like he really hit it that far.
Bo Jackson had one. If it was, warming, if you counted a warming up in an All-Star game that he had hit, and then Ken Griffey Jr. at Camden Yards hitting it over the brick wall. I mean, that was, and then every time Bonds would hit it into the water at the Giant Stadium, just crush it. You had people out there in there. I mean, how far is that to hit it out to the water? Is that not 500 feet?
Yeah. Well, out there, no. 500 feet is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that far. And maybe they've been hit, maybe 10 that are recorded as 500 feet, but how many of them really went that far? Because you don't treat a distance in home runs is where the ball lands, not like golf where it's finished rolling. And the distance isn't supposed to matter all that much. It just helps take away some of the dignity of the athletes. But yeah, 580-foot home run by Josh Gibson at Yankee Stadium. I really do wonder if it went that far. Babe Ruth calling his shot. That's another one that nobody's quite sure if it happened or not. There's video of it. But you're not quite sure if he's pointing at the pitcher or if he's pointing where he's going to hit the ball. We do know that he hit a home run on the next pitch. Bobby Hull's 118.3 mile per hour slap shot apparently was timed in the 1960s, so I would guess that was probably inaccurate. The Immaculate Reception. So the thing about the Immaculate Reception is we will never know, no matter what, never know if the ball hit the turf or if Franco caught it on his fingertips just before it would have hit the Three River Stadium turf. We will never know. The camera work for that broadcast, the AFC Divisional title game in 72, was so bad that when you see even the replay from the end zone that Franco's running towards, you never see the ball in his hands. So we're never going to know. It's all urban legend, and you know what? He scored a touchdown.
It went down to 6 points.
That's right. And then the last one, this one's funny. Wade Boggs' famous cross-country flight, where, he's the guy who's known as probably could have drank more beer than any player of the 80s or 90s, which I think is saying something.
Him and Larry Bird.
Yeah, both in Boston, too.
Chuck Charles Barkley said, the one guy I won't hang out with is Larry Bird. I sit there and drank 20 Budweisers the next day, and I couldn't practice because I had a headache, and Larry Bird's just out there shooting threes like it's nothing.
You remember the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where the crew is on the plane with Wade Boggs, and they're getting trashed on the plane wearing white T-shirts? I think they were, marking down how many beers they drank. Apparently, Boggs, in a famous flight, drank somewhere between 70 and 107 beers, and then went on to go 3 for 5 the next day. I don't know anybody who can finish 70 beers. Never mind 37 more of them on a cross-country flight. So that's
6 hours?
4.5 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the direction you're going.
5 hours or so. So you got to go 12-pack an hour just to get to 60. Yeah, if you did a 12-pack an hour, you're still not there.
Maybe somebody can ask Mr. Boggs about it at Hot Springs Annual Baseball Weekend, Saturday, August 26th. Boggs will be there. His talk from 3 to 4 p.m. is titled Stories from the Batter's Box. Be pretty interested in that. I'd be interested in hearing the story from the airplane, too. Who else will be there? Raleigh Fingers, Goose Gossage, Steve Carlton, and Wade Boggs. 4 Hall of Famers, all in attendance. Yeah, and then you even have an Ask the Pros session featuring all 4 of them. I do wonder about Carlton, though. He's a bit of a different bird. Rex Nelson will be talking pitching with Steve Carlton during Hot Springs Annual Baseball Weekend. It's because you don't want Carlton to just do the talking because he's a little different and maybe not in the best way sometimes, but he also maybe the best slider of all time. So that would be kind of fun to go check out. I almost felt like stopping and pulling over at one of the baseball trail markers the other day. Matt, you and I were there Friday for our appearance at Armour Bank. When we were heading out to, where was it we ate lunch? I'm already forgetting. That's right. It was
little German spot.
Yeah, the German spot.
Had the pickled eggs and the
Steinhaus Keller.
The bratwurst and the Weisenwurst. It was
we had a flight.
Had a flight try it out. Yeah, it was pretty. It was a good lunch.
And you had a couple of wursts.
That was good.
Was an interesting flavor.
Whatever you had, it didn't have a chance. I know that. You pretty much finished your plate right there.
The schnitzel sandwich.
And the red cabbage. That was the best part of the thing. It had
I think it was.
It's like some brown sugar in it or whatever they put on that cabbage, man. It was fire.
I'd like to believe Wade Boggs can drink 70 to 107 beers and then have 3 hits the next day, but I just don't believe it either. I really don't.
Andre the Giant, yeah, he'd take a barrel of beer.
I tried to explain that to my kids last night. We watched The Princess Bride, and it was a rewatch for my daughter who hated the movie the first time she saw it because it had too much blood. That was at the age of 5. Now at 14, she was ready to watch it again. I'm like, you see that guy right there? That's Andre the Giant. And he could drink a beer in 1 second, literally. And that's the guy that could have drank 107 beers on a cross-country flight. The only thing is, they wouldn't have had enough beer for him on that flight.
Well, it's whatever it's called when you go through puberty and your body and you keep growing. He did that like 7 times, and they figured out now that you can stop that. You know, they got medicine for it now, but they didn't know what it was back then, and so it did. I bet it would take 50 beers just for him to feel anything. Yeah.
And that's somebody that was never out of character, ever. Like, even in the movie credits, he didn't have a last name. His last name is the Giant. It was fun to watch that. Now we've got to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure all over again. Now that's another movie. I would have to strap my kids into the couch and restrain them and probably peel their eyes open a la Clockwork Orange just to force them to watch this movie, because I think they were, I think the first time they see it, like, this colors how you view that movie for the rest of your life. We're only bringing this up because Pee-wee Herman passed away overnight. Tragically, at age 70, 6-year battle with cancer that he kept under wraps. Let nobody know about it until he was gone. But the clown scene, it's the nightmare scene. That's not just the clown scene, it's the nightmare scene. That's the one, if you don't like clowns, and I know a lot of people who don't like clowns, I mean, that are completely frightened out of their minds of these things, you can't watch that movie. You literally can't. It's PG, but for folks who hate clowns, that's NC-17. That's NC whatever your age is all the way.
It's pretty terrifying.
That's a real thing. People don't like clowns.
You never heard that before?
There's people that are literally frightened of clowns. One of a mutual friend of ours.
I don't like
who used
snakes,
to work at your
but,
previous location.
He's a friend of at least one or two.
That's
of us.
right. Future. Yeah.
I have so much fun with him around Halloween time when I take the kids to Spirit Halloween. I mean, take your pick. There's 50 different frightening clown masks right there for you. He just might as well block my phone number once we get into October. I'm going to ruin his life.
I do have his number. I need to just text him pictures.
Well, he's
of
in
clouds.
government now too, so maybe
he's probably blocked my number. There.
Yeah, but he also doesn't drink cereal milk. He's got a thing against cereal milk too. So I don't know.
He also doesn't know what a labrum is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different thing. 877-377-6963. That happened in 2011, the moment you're mentioned there.
I mean, I played it about 100 times when I used to work there.
And the next year, Randall Gritchick and C.J. Crone were on the Travelers, Angels farm system, and now they're traded back to the Angels all over again. Halftime's brought to you by our friends at Pradco Fishing Lures. Pradco Fishing Lures makes the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. It's got a famous rolling action. Doesn't matter if you fish it extremely slow or work it fast and heavy current. This Rogue suspends. You're going to stay in the strike zone longer, and you'll catch more fish, especially if you're looking for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown on the Mighty White. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch him. You'll find it at LearNet.com and tackle stores all over the place. We're into the home stretch. Halftime's back after this.
Joey and Ryan here. What's up? It's summertime. Hey, we got some great Jeep incentives going on right now. 2.9% financing, rebates, discounts on Jeep Grand Cherokee on select models. We've got 1.9 incentivized rate plus $4,000 rebate. So for all you new Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs during the Make This the Summer event. Or check us out on the web at redriverdodge.com or Red River. We deliver. God bless.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Halftime.
The back-to-school blowout sale at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. The place to be this weekend. Take your test drive. Check out the manager's specials up on the front row. The big selection of Fords. This is the place to buy a car.
Yes, definitely. You know, Tommy, I got to sell 30 cars, by the end of business this month. So we've got this back-to-school blowout sale going on. I promise you, the next 30 customers that walks in here are going to be lucky. They're going to get a heck of a deal. We're going to get them hooked up. Hey, we're matching down payments up to $2,500. Every single unit on this lot will have a discount. We've got no payments going on for up to 90 days. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're driving around this weekend, you've been in the market, you've been looking at vehicles, do not go anywhere else. Come down here to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. Let me save you thousands.
If you got 1,000, it becomes 2,000. If you got 2,000, it's 4. If you got 2,500, it's $5,000 this weekend with matching down payments in the blowout sale here at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Ocker Funeral Home knows that thinking about the inevitability of one's death is a subject that few like to consider. For many, actually moving ahead with their pre-planning or prepaying for their funeral is even more difficult to act on. With a large number of options available today, it's important to speak to someone you can trust. Ocker Funeral Homes in Van Buren, Alma, and Fort Smith, serving the community for over 100 years. Call 474-2523 for an appointment.
Hi, this is Melissa Vitale, owner of True Grit Running Company. Your young athlete deserves the best when it comes to footwear. After all, it's good to start early so they don't have problems in the future. We've got options for training, cross-country, gym class, and more. Our well-trained staff can guide your student athlete through our personalized fit process to help find that True Grit fit. And for our cross-country kids, we offer a 10% discount off of your total purchase. Visit our store in Fort Smith, located behind Chick-fil-A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's the 18th annual football trip of a lifetime brought to you by Hardee's. Can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin', and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, Matt, I'm picturing you setting an alarm for 1:55 in the morning so that you can wake up in time to watch the Women's World Cup, USA, Portugal, 2 o'clock in the morning. So wait a minute. The last game was an 8 o'clock at night game. I understand these games are all the way on the other side of the world. We had an 8 o'clock at night game, picture perfect for the last two. And now for the one that will decide whether or not the United States makes it to the knockout round, it's a 2 a.m. kickoff. So I don't have to set an alarm. You know why? Because I'm automatically like waking up 8 times between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. So I'll guarantee I'll have that on. It will be it won't be my choice. I just won't be able to sleep.
Well, what they do in the World Cup, so the last round of group play, all 4 teams play at the same time, so you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't have one of them at 2 and the next one at 6. Well, whoever's in your group, y'all all play at the same time, kind of based on what was that, Dave Van Horn, when he said when they knew they already had it won, he changed the way he coached. And so it's like the same concept here, you know, and then you're playing for an A pod or B pod, and you get to see who you're matching up. So there's a little bit of that that goes into it.
That's how Major League Baseball does the last day of the regular season.
That's how Premier League does. Everybody plays at 10 a.m., the very last game of the season, yeah.
Can you imagine the NFL trying to do that? They have so many different windows for TV. You got your Thursday night. By that point of the season, you get games on Saturday, and then whatever various windows on Sunday. And there is no Monday night game the last week of the season. But
yeah, that's the national championship or so, huh? Like whenever they get about there, it's about I guess nowadays, who knows? The national championship game has been pushed back, so it's the 17th or something, 31st of January. Like it's all the way at the end of January.
Well, I wonder when it's going to be next year. Well, I think it's already been – the date's already out as far as the 2020 – well, it would be the 2025 championship game.
I watched a little bit of the U.S. and the Netherlands. I'm a Rose Lavelle fan. I guess she's a little banged up, but to me, she's the best player on that United States team. Just controlling the midfield. She can put the ball wherever she wants with either foot. I mean, she is a joy to watch.
I loved how Lindsey Horan got. It looked like a.
That's her teammate.
I thought she was going to get. I thought that looked like a possible concussion, and then
she said, "You don't know where I'm from. You don't know where I've been, Lou."
It puts the corner kick in the back of the net, and it was
header just came across.
Moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was just. Yeah, and that official, I think it was a good job of kind of breaking it up, bringing both parties over, and she got lost in the shuffle there, and she was the first to meet the ball.
Back on the college football playoff championship, so the championship game for the 2024 season, that would be the first year of the 12-team playoff, is January 20th.
Okay.
January 20th, and the first round of games would start December the 20th. So you get a month of playoffs. You're going to have a month of college football playoffs. That's great because you get more than a month of NFL playoff games.
Yeah,
you can have a month of college football games that actually matter to decide a championship.
January 13th, 14th, and 15th are the first round of the NFL playoffs. And so you're saying it's the 20th right there, yeah.
Well, I just imagine that's the longest that college football ever goes. Like the NFL added its 17th game.
There's a Saturday. There's a playoff NFL game on the 20th. That just doesn't seem like a.
This next year?
Yeah, 2024 divisional round playoffs, the 20th and the 21st.
Got to keep your TV partners happy.
Man,
got to give ESPN a playoff game.
Getting an Amazon Prime account.
Well, you got to keep your TV partners happy is what it comes down to. I mean, the regular season games are one thing, but everybody watches the playoff games. And a Monday night playoff game is going to generate a lot of televisions or iPads or whatever screen it is flipping over to ESPN. You know, at some point, ESPN is changing their business model too. So you pay your subscription to the cable company or to Sling or YouTube or Dish or whatever, and that's how you get ESPN. And it still confuses people, you know, when you buy the Disney Hulu bundle and you get Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus, but that doesn't mean you get the games that are on the main network.
The ABC and CBS.
Right, you don't get that with it. I imagine in the next couple of years that the business model for ESPN changes because too many cords are being cut, and they have to go straight to the consumer. And, I mean, truthfully, buying YouTube TV or Sling maybe not Sling, but YouTube TV is just as expensive as cable used to be.
It's $100 a month. Yeah.
It's just the same price as it used to be before. The only reason that I have that, Matt, the only reason that I have YouTube TV right now is
they show
for
the
the college football league. I don't even need it right now. I don't watch any of the networks. I don't watch
They
TV
show the
shows
Razorback
on the
games. Yeah.
You're gonna and you can record them, which I want to watch those. I mean, I want to watch every Razorback game in the stadium, but I want to watch it again on a Sunday or a Monday to generate more thoughts about that. I mean, that's essentially like I'm paying $100 a month just to watch the Razorback football game a second time. Otherwise, I don't know why I do it.
I did see that come across the bottom ticker the other day that said that they're going to start charging for playoff games, like the NFL football playoff games that come on free TV. It's on Fox or CBS or ABC, like they're NBC. They're going to start charging. That's so you're right. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year, but that was one of the cool things was that the national championship game, the NBA finals, the World Series, NFL, the finals, the playoffs, it's on free TV, but not anymore.
Well, every event, every major league league has gone to some kind of cable programming for the playoffs. I mean, TBS carries one of the two championship series before you get into the World Series. Fox has the World Series, but you got to have cable to watch one of the two championship series.
Yeah, NBA, TNT, they do that as well. The Kenny and Chuck show, Ernie.
You got ESPN that carries NFL playoffs, and I don't know exactly how hockey works, but it's the weird thing. I shouldn't say it's weird, is that you still have local telecasts for NHL games. Like once the baseball playoffs begin, the guys who do the TV broadcast, like vacation starts. How odd would that be? You work 150, let's say 150 broadcasts for the same major league team. Once they get into October, you're done. Maybe you go to radio for 2 or 3 innings. That's just got to be so weird. Like I would want, if I did, it would be the same idea. Like we're doing Arkansas baseball games. If I wasn't able to do
if they went to Omaha,
the tournament and couldn't go to Omaha, I'd be like, I think I'll go find something else to do because that's the fun of everything. That's where the real drama lies. I'd want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of your gig, you got a pretty sweet gig because what we were talking about in the first hour, the team could be bad. You could be out there winning 11 games, 17 games a year and not producing, but instead, y'all are fighting for a title every year, having a chance to go to Omaha. That's got to be pretty cool.
The funny thing about that is, and you're so right about that too. I mean, you've had only one bad year, meaning not making the NCAA tournament in Dave Van Horn's tenure. When you go back and look at last baseball season, you could legitimately make a case that they very well could have been 10-20 in the SEC instead of 20-10. That's one of the things. They're always good every year, but the rest of the league is so good every year. You're never quite sure how it's going to go. But I still get those questions. I got the questions when we were at Armour Bank the other day, Matt. Are we going to be good in baseball next year? My answer always is yes, because you're at the point where you can trust the coaching staff to always put together a good team, a really good team. And whatever happened in the postseason last year happened. But the regular season, that team is really damn good.
Yeah, I would say you'd go Van Horn, Muss, and Pittman if you're going to say trust them and how successful the teams are going to be.
Hey, if you want to put a little wager on, it'd be next morning, tomorrow morning's Women's World Cup game or anything else going on in the world of sports. I got Major League Baseball specials. They have some really interesting first inning specials on Bet Saracen right now. And the soccer specials, who's going to score the first goal, all 8 teams maybe to score 1 goal at least, plus 650. And the U.S. team is favored by minus 350 against Portugal. You want to put some money on that or anything else going on in sports? Have the Bet Saracen app on your Apple iPhone. Bet Saracen's also on any Google Android phone and any web browser at betsaracen.com. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. And you can go to betsaracen.com, check out the cool video of how to play featuring Jancy Sheets. Wrapping up halftime after this.
To wear my ring, and when I'm sad, you're a clown, and when I get scared, you're always around.
The Lakes at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing a
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
During the summer months, I know many of you are active, going to the lake, going to the beach. And if you want to live a healthier lifestyle and look better on these occasions, then I've got just the meal kit for you. It's Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. And you can get 50% off your order right now using the code HTL50. Just go to factormeals.com/HTL50 and get 50% off. You're going to save trips to the grocery store. Your meals are going to be ready in about 2 minutes. They're fresh, never frozen. Plus, they have over 34 weekly restaurant options like bruschetta shrimp risotto and grilled steakhouse filet mignon. They have keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie options. Don't forget about breakfast and start your day right with Factor. Take 50% off right now. Factormeals.com/HTL50. That's factormeals.com/HTL50 and get 50% off.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom...
By Hardee's, can you eat a monster burger in 120 seconds to qualify? Go to hitthatline.com for more details and win a football trip of a lifetime.
Scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the
listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Now, we had the list of things that probably didn't happen in sports. Wade Boggs drinking anywhere from 70 to 107 beers on a cross-country flight would be one of those things. And I appreciate Grant, who tweeted me about this. He did the math for me. Apparently, Wade Boggs would have had to drink 9 gallons of beer for that to be true. I don't know anybody that can drink 9
I just don't want to have to
anything.
go. I don't want to have to use the restroom that much.
You have to stay in the restroom at that point.
That's ridiculous. Or just wear a diaper or nothing at all. Yeah,
You need more than one adult diaper for 9 gallons of beer.
Free Willy.
So I would definitely put that. Somebody's got to ask Boggs about that at Hot Springs Baseball Weekend. Somebody has to. Got to ask him about the fried chicken and about the beer. Steer clear of Margot Adams. Look it up. You'll know exactly why. If you missed anything on our show today, the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast comes out shortly, thanks to the one and only Master Matthew Travis. And Ruskin and Zach will take you from 2 until 7 o'clock. And then we'll do it all over again. Tomorrow we've got Clay Henry and Chuck Barrett. And then we've got Clay coming on Wednesdays once we get into the following week. So one more time before we go. I did not start the show today with any understanding or knowledge that Pee Wee Herman was ill. And now we know he's dead of cancer that happened overnight. This was tough. This was one of the people I grew up watching on Saturdays, and his movies were something that I loved as a kid. So more proof Matt Jones and Matt Travis were getting older, because our childhood idols continue to die.
It's going to be a long year.
It is. It's going to be a long year. You're right. But it's been a good 3 hours, so I appreciate you guys, and it's always good being back with you on a Monday. Easy, breezy Mondays. So, for Matt Jones and Matt Travis, I'm Phil. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday afternoon. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach, and get up, get out, and get better.